Hello. Hi, everybody. How you doing? We are Not Great RPG, and we're here once again for the Lost Kings of Adoris. Before we begin, Paul has a package to open from our good friend Vulpix. Mm-hmm. We're going to start with that.
Mm-hmm. Is she here?
Yes.
All right. Mm-hmm. I'm just going to put this down.
Paul's very nervous.
Mm-hmm. Please.
Listen, you're going to love it.
I'm so afraid.
How bad could it be?
It's
Have you seen what DJ's gotten?
It's fantastic.
Oh, no. Okay. Wait. How do I...
Open it.
Help.
I need help.
Come on.
Do you need an adult?
No, I got it.
Is there some? Oh yeah, there's something over the cover.
Yeah, there's plastic on the outside, and then the actual first leaflet is folded backwards to keep it safe.
So
This way it doesn't get like scratched or anything. Ooh, just turn that.
Share with the class.
why is it bar? Fishy's wet bar. It's tubby time. Thank you so much. This will be my backup notebook when my other one fills because it's getting close.
Yep, actually. Good lord.
I'm digging the hair.
Right?
This is fantastic.
Thank you very much, Vulpix.
Thank you.
Oh my god. On that note, we'll go around the table real quick, introduce ourselves, and I'll do a brief recap.
Very good.
Have a great time.
I'm John, and I'm still playing Marcus.
I'm Sarah, and I'm playing Dandelion.
I'm Paul, and it's not tubby time because I'm playing Rin.
I'm Autumn, and I play Twig.
I'm Mike, and I play Mr. Pigeon.
I'm not Lawrence. I play Shay.
I'm also not Lawrence because I'm Don.
Mm-hmm.
I'm also not John, or
Right,
Paul, or Mike.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody but me.
Mm-hmm. That's good, dude.
Isn't that
It's
true?
good. It's just really good.
Are you sure? You seem to be having an identity
You're all the
crisis.
NPCs, though.
All right, that's a false statement.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I am the DM of this campaign, The Lost Kings of Adoris. Last week's episode, titled "Patient is the Night."
Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Do you want us all
Off
to
to
leave?
jail.
Uh,
I mean, you just don't need to read the
Yeah.
part with me.
Yeah.
Straight to
Like,
jail.
Yeah, dude.
Marcus did some stuff.
Yeah.
It was a great time.
Ugh.
Then Ren did some stuff.
Ren did some stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Which he relayed to
He did.
us
He did relay the
pretty
date.
thoroughly.
Yeah.
And
he
theoretically, they would have been there to hear it.
Thoroughly enough.
Yeah, you would have heard it from like your room.
He would have related to them.
Yeah. Yeah. So Rin got a letter from the Office of Commerce inviting him to a meeting and dinner. He went, hung out with Jondar for a little bit. Jondar was confused in thinking that Rin was somebody else and bathed him in moonlight, attempting to reveal whatever disguise that he might have had on as this other person. But it turns out it was just the young Master Rin, who was like, "What the fuck was that?" And Jondar was like, "Hey, thought you were somebody else named Ren, and I thought you were throwing it in my face because they're here, I've seen them." They talked a little bit about Ren's emissary duties. They had some dinner, and then Ren was like, "All right, gotta go," and left, and made his way back towards the tavern. Dandelion made her way back, spoke with Scarlet a little bit, and then went downstairs and kind of sat on top of a table, kicked her legs about, danced around a little bit. Shay arrived back from his errands and did some things, and then came out when Rin came back, and the three of them talked about Rin's date with Jondar, and pointed out that the names Ren and Rin sound very familiar. And then Dandelion transformed into a 1-foot-tall Marcus and floated above everyone without wings, very creepily. And then you guys went to sleep, where you have to make final preparations to rescue the good boy Marcus Shaw. And that is where we are picking up the next morning. All of you awaken in your rooms in the basement of the Last Lantern Tavern /Inn and you are waking up. You hear the sounds of people kind of mulling about outside of your rooms, likely also preparing for what's to come today.
Sure. Do we know what time? Because we would have communicated with Guard Boy about time frames and anything that he would have known in regard to.
Yeah, so we're gonna do that, but he would have told you beforehand that it would have been this night. Essentially.
At night.
Yes. Yeah. So essentially, you have the day. We're gonna have you guys talk to them and get the information, and then just
Beautiful.
fast forward to the evening. But yeah, you hear people outside. Is everybody heading out of the rooms?
Sure.
Yeah.
Yep.
Cool. Yeah, outside.
Does it flitter out?
Flitter out. Yeah, you're 1 foot tall.
I'm small now.
I would not be costumed up.
Okay.
I would come out in my normal fine clothes.
Sure.
And we got big cloaks for us.
You did. Yes. Yeah.
So I would come out in normal clothes with a big cloak.
Sure. Would you like to describe your fine clothing, or do you not have anything in
I
mind?
would love to.
And what
but
Mr. Pigeon
I'm
looks
not
like.
on here yet.
Sure.
And your paintless face.
Yeah, I mean, so I would, I guess, look more like an elf than usual because my face wouldn't be covered in the white and black makeup. And I guess you would see my hair for the first time too, which would be dark and probably just like almost shoulder length, but like back. And yeah, I would just look like I guess like a wealthier person. The clothes would be finer. Because I believe they were described as fine traveling clothes in my inventory, which I'm trying to get to.
Sure.
But yeah, it was fancy clothes, big cloak, normal looking elf otherwise.
Yeah, so you guys walk out of your rooms and you kind of all leave at the same time. Dandelion floats out 1 foot tall, and you guys notice Mr. Pigeon does not have any of his makeup on
Do
and
we
is dressed in
recognize
very
Mr.
fine
Pigeon?
clothing. I would say the facial features are at least enough to be
Yeah, they're
recognizable.
not usually, they're not altered under the makeup.
Yeah, so, but he doesn't have makeup on and does not have a clown outfit on, and that's definitely super weird.
So I'm assuming you're next to Twig, though, so that's the dead giveaway.
That is also the giveaway, yes, that's fair.
So it's not glued on your face. Good to know.
Your colors are back. Dandelion's just zipping around. She's about 1 foot tall. And has dragonfly
okay.
wings.
Well then, that's,
Yeah.
Yep, that's different. I guess I would also I'd put on my captain hat from that outfit. I guess that would help hide the.
Sure.
Well, should probably finish getting ready for this evening.
Indeed. Have you seen Emmerich?
Yeah, so I'll say that he's out sitting at a table along with the one that was only introduced as the Wanderer, that did not give you a name, nor did any of you ask. And the creepy... actually, he's not here yet. He's not arrived yet.
Are you in your?
But Captain Emmerich is here. You do not see Scarlet, but you see Captain Emmerich and Arthur are sitting at a table, and they kind of look over to you and nod.
Good morning.
Good morning.
You able to do any further reconnaissance?
A bit. I'll admit not as much as I would have preferred, but I was able to get some information. I know how I'll be getting you in.
Well, that's good. That's a great place to start. Is it a safe route to leave through as well?
Yes, if you can get back there, yes. It's,
Alright.
sewers.
Okay.
I'm told there's a route.
You're told?
Yes, spoke to some of my fellow guardsmen that tend to hang in the more seedy circles of town. There are markings in the sewers.
Alright, we will need to know what those are.
Yes, I'm not entirely certain. but I'm told that they're obvious to those that understand those types of markings. You should see them inside. I can lead you to... We'll be entering through the theater district.
Very well.
Alleys that we can get to and not be seen.
Don't suppose you happen to know when it will be least guarded?
The entrances are always guarded by several guards. That's why we can't go in that way. I can't exactly, smuggle you in. It would be weird if I were there. I enter through the castle when I took Marcus down, and the other time I went back to speak with him. I'm not entirely certain the route from where you're entering, but it should be fairly straightforward. There are only a few holes. It is very dark.
How shortly after we retrieve Marcus do you intend to go after Jandar?
Not immediately. We need a few days to get things together. There will be time for all of you to hide and move throughout the city and gather other things that you need.
And you will maintain your normal post in the meantime?
Yes. Keeping up appearances. Marcus will go with you.
Good.
If we're able to get him back, that is.
Yes.
We will get him back.
That's the spirit?
Mm-hmm.
You do have dynamite.
I have to yell at him. I told him not to.
Not too loudly until we get out.
I'll wait.
Very good.
Never mind.
Mm.
Do you have Marcus's things?
Yes, they're in the room.
Okay. I'm going to go into the room and start taking some of them.
Hmm?
Just going to take his warhammer and just put it in the bag of holding. Sure. And yeah, probably the oil and the lantern. Let me mark them.
Mm-hmm. Yep. So it's a hooded lantern, so the way that works is you can get a variable amount of light on it by adjusting the hood.
He actually had both.
Yeah.
He has a hooded
Oh.
and a bullseye.
Oh,
There
he
you
does?
go.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah, I'll just take them both then.
Sure.
I'll take the bullseye lantern.
You want the bullseye?
Yeah.
Okay,
Sure.
I'll take
Yeah,
it.
so
Because he's actually a thief.
good idea to take those in the place that
Yeah,
is
I mean,
dark.
this is not a paladin's inventory. This is
Absolutely not.
yeah, you're a liar if you're listening to us right now.
Did you guys get to see the list of Marcus's
That's-
belongings?
Like, what was the what's the magic item that's at the top? I didn't read it. What was it called? Ridiculous. What was it?
Instrument of illusion.
Yes.
That's
what
what
Oh,
Dandelion
I
has.
have.
That.
You can
Yes,
actually
you
cross
have
that
that.
off. That's not on the list anymore. He gave that to me.
How would he have that?
It was a gift for Dandelion.
So grab that grappling hook.
Sure.
Oh, I missed that. That's right. The grappling.
As I
hook.
grab the grappling hook and actually look at my clothes, having read what they are, they're very fancy. They have gems on them and stuff. I'm just gonna stare at myself and excuse myself for a minute to go get changed.
Sure.
And I'm gonna come back in that captain's outfit, which is
Sure.
much less
Gems.
noticeable. Yeah, they're very fancy clothes.
You have a lot of outfits.
And come back in the full captain outfit.
That's better.
I'll take the grappling hook and put it in my coat.
Sure. Yeah, absolutely. I've always been escorted by a guard, and the route has not been the same each time.
Entering.
Yes. We always enter at the same point, but the way that we go to get to where Marcus is has been different. The hallways are not the same.
How many guards do you normally see on your way?
Only a few.
How far apart?
I'm not sure. I've not seen the whole of the prison, but
I just mean on any given route.
I couldn't really tell. I know that they have routes. They do circle some respective pattern, but I'm not sure what it is. I would have to imagine there are traps of some kind if I've been taken a different way.
When you do see guards, are they alone?
Yes,
Good. Good.
but they're well armed.
It'd be easier if it's 5-on-1.
the feeling we won't need all of us. Just look at you and Twig.
That's the hope.
They have lanterns. Just keep that in mind as you're creeping around.
Oh,
And you're unsure how far apart they generally patrol.
I'm not sure.
Best guess? You've been there how many times?
Only a few.
Guess is better than nothing at all.
Yes. Maybe 2 or 3 minutes. It's not that quick.
Far enough that if we covered their mouth, might not give us away.
Yes, I think so.
And if the route changes, perhaps it wouldn't be a straightaway route for the next guard to get to where we are. Time to move.
we'd have to be quick.
And quiet.
And quiet.
I have a question. What's a sewer?
It's a good question. The young master is fully equipped to answer.
Dandelion, there's no fun way to say this. It's filled with shit.
Why does that lead to a castle?
Because it comes from the castle.
That sounds pretty bad.
Well, luckily you can do that, so you're fine. You shouldn't have to step in it.
I sure hope not. Everyone else will have to. Right? No one else can fly?
Unfortunately not. And I'll just look down at my boots.
What boots do you have?
I have the high ground.
I will remind you, it does not float you above liquid.
God damn it!
It's a foot, right?
So
just
don't cross.
Don't cross. A foot off of whatever the ground surface is. You will sink to the bottom of the sea.
He has the high ground.
He does.
Wherever that's
Wherever that
Kind of wish that they would teleport him to wherever the highest point is.
Within vision?
Uh-huh. I have the high ground. Where did he go?
That'd be
There's
cool.
no oxygen up there.
That would be fantastic.
We can't go now.
I would recommend nightfall. I have to imagine there are less guards overnight than during the day.
Or at least more tired guards.
Probably.
You have any idea how many there would be on a given shift?
I can't imagine more than a few,
Alright.
but it is dark.
And they've never let slip about what sort of traps there are that have you changing routes?
No. I didn't see anything, but I don't exactly know what to look for.
Very well. Are there any other prisoners?
Not that I saw, but Marcus was on his own. In a cage.
It would just be a shame to have a prisoner spot us and call out.
Yes.
Why would we if we let them out?
Start a prison riot. It's a very good idea.
Might as well. Who knows who else has unjustly been imprisoned?
What if they've been justly imprisoned?
Well, that's something we'll take care of later then.
I don't think Marcus would like that.
Well,
Probably not.
Marcus isn't in the position to be making decisions.
That's also fair.
Whatever gets him out. and clean up after.
Very well. I don't suppose you could provide some sort of distraction when we, around the time you suspect we'll be able to exit. Something to pull attention.
I can try, but it will be hard to guess when that is. I truly don't know how long it will take.
How long does it take with an escort?
2 or 3 minutes of walking. But as I've said, I enter through a different point than you will. I don't know where it is within the complex.
Couple hours.
Alright. Can do that.
Worst case scenario, it's not quite the right timing. Still a distraction.
Yeah. It'll still work.
Alright.
If you make it something that has to be cleaned up afterwards. Buy
I can
extra
try.
time if the timing's not quite right.
I'll do what I can. As you're sitting there talking, the door above opens and you see a figure walk in dressed in a black cloak with a long plague doctor mask.
I gotta go.
And he just slowly walks down the stairs with cupped hands and walks towards all of you and pulls the mask back. Your charm of false life is complete.
Can I, how do I take it?
Do not put it on.
Got it. I'll put it in the bag.
I thought I was taking that one.
Are you taking it? Okay, yeah, here you go. Sure, Dandelion. Don't put it on.
I will.
Is it automatic?
Yes.
Can you resist it?
Yes. They
Damn.
must be willing to accept the magic.
I can't force them.
No, such is its limitations of containing a spell.
I'll shove it in my now very small bag.
Do be careful.
That's the plan.
I will bury you should you fail. I will make sure you have a proper funeral.
Comforting.
What does he look like?
Yeah. So he's an elvish man.
Mm-hmm.
He's got like pulled back ponytail black hair.
Ether. Is it straight up Ether?
It's not. Ether doesn't have black hair.
Ether has an accent.
He is for sure stereotypical Undertaker man.
He's actually the Undertaker.
Darker skin, green eyes,
Spunk.
bones on
No, you don't see any
his
bones.
person.
No bones in sight. Good.
Not that you can see. You can see as a necklace on, but you can't see what's on it. I hope that has been helpful for you.
Hopefully we won't need it.
How long
And I'll
will
give
it
it back
last?
to you.
I think we said an hour.
Was it an hour or a day?
What is the spell called again?
Half-life?
False life.
False life.
No, false life is the hit
It's
point,
temporary
isn't
hit
it?
points, yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Fan deaf?
Feign
That
death,
sounds
that's
right.
right. Yes, 1 hour.
What-
That's correct.
That's not very much time.
No.
Where did you get your mask?
I made it.
Yourself.
Yes.
We met a lady who also makes masks.
There are many people who make and wear masks.
She's just staring at it.
Yeah.
He's gonna hide behind Rin.
I'm currently looking at my spell book.
Sure.
And how is it that you got pulled into this
I help people, both alive and dead. This seemed logical.
So it's logic or generosity?
Logic. Should a caged bird not be set free?
Very well.
Is he calling Marcus a bird?
It's a metaphor,
You just
a
gotta
comparison.
slowly back up and walk and sit at another table.
Is he still staring?
Yeah, I mean, he's
Nice.
looking at you guys.
He put his mask back down, or is he
No, it's up on
Is
his
it-
head.
just
Mhm.
a tall, like, beak sticking up off the top of his head?
A horn.
Yeah.
Really quick, because I was reading that at the beginning.
Yep.
The plan was a guy was leading us through the sewers.
Mhm.
The guy was leading you to the sewers.
To the sewers.
Yep.
We're going through the sewers. Then what?
We're going through the sewers. They're supposedly marked. My assumption would be thieves' camp. Then we've got barely any information on the prison itself, except that the people that are escorted typically don't take the same route twice.
Okay.
Suspected to be traps. Guards are probably 2 to 3 minutes apart.
Okay.
They patrol by themselves. They do patrol. They're not stationary.
Okay.
Is that everything?
Mm-hmm.
So then I would excuse myself. Yep. Just in case it doesn't have to be that though, I would excuse myself for like a moment and come back from my room and slide a piece of paper over to you, and it would be an arrest warrant written for Captain Holland Gavinson. I would slide it to you and hold my hands.
It's very good.
And
We should probably bring Marcus's manacles.
do we have those?
Yeah, wait,
Yeah,
were those on
shackles or
there?
manacles or something, I think.
No,
Did he not have those on there anymore?
I think he used them.
Did he
on,
run out?
He used them on what's his face, the kid from the docks.
I feel like Marcus would always have manacles. But I'll defer to John on that one.
Did you ask him?
He's watching.
Spoilers.
Yeah, John. Jeez. Might as well be in the room.
He was out. Okay, no shackle hands for you.
No shackle hands.
I'll
Any chance we could get some manacles?
just
Yes, of course.
the guard should have some.
Pull some from his side.
Very good.
Hopefully.
Now we have manacles.
How many?
Can't believe Marcus let me down like this.
Right?
You should carry them if we think it's going that route. I imagine you could.
Yeah, no, I'll take them and stick them in my coat.
Would look strange if we had to turn around and manacle you ourselves in the middle of escorting you. Sorry, hold on, I forgot to manacle the prisoner.
Just me.
Very good.
Is there anything else?
Do we have food to bring him? He might be
Will
hungry.
he need food?
I don't think so. Well, I don't know if he's eaten, perhaps after you flee, but there will be plenty of food here. I don't think it's safe to eat there.
Very well.
A good idea, though, Dandelion.
Worst case scenario, we'll put him to sleep and put him in the bag. That'll hold him over.
If you're ready, we will wait till nightfall.
I guess Emmerich is a guard, right?
Mhm.
I guess I would slide him the note too and like
Sure.
point at it and give him a shrug.
Should it come to that, I suppose, yes. It looks legit.
Any specific guards that normally escort prisoners?
Not particularly. I'm not familiar with the guard rotation for the prison.
Would the
Generally the arresting guard.
guards on duty suspect if they didn't recognize the particular guard? The young master is able to disguise himself.
They might generally. They are told ahead that someone is coming.
Would there be any reason why they might not have been told ahead?
It might pass if you're caught, but I wouldn't use that as a method.
Well, if it distracts them long enough for other methods.
Yes,
I have a follow-up question to that.
sure.
What is the most common name in this kingdom?
I'm not sure, I'm sorry. There are many names.
You didn't go to school or anything like that? Wasn't like 5 Johns?
No, there are a lot of different names. Mostly family names, but they're all different.
Got it.
Whatever comes to mind should suffice. If they seem like they're catching on, we'll just take over it. Quietly.
Of course.
Do you have the keys for these manacles?
Yes,
Thank you.
of course.
Just in case we have to use the same trick more than once.
Everybody good?
Yes.
Good? Okay. And we will fast forward to the evening. And you guys have eaten and kind of collect your thoughts. Is there anything else you guys would like to talk about, either as subgroups or as a full group before you go in?
Dandelion would just spend the time kind of like anxiously zipping around.
All right. And we will zip forward to the evening time. Like I said, you guys are all fed and everything, and Captain Emmerich looks at all of you. We'd better go.
Let's go.
I would put your hoods up on your cloaks.
We ever decide how we're gonna hide you?
She's a foot tall.
All right.
Come along. Just like
Just like
Just
peeking,
hiding like in Shay's cloak.
Yeah, just like peeking
Okay.
out, like over the top, like over the collar.
Sure. Just peeking out. You have your cloak drawn.
Yeah.
Just like front carrying a child.
Yeah.
You look a little lumpy. Yeah, so you guys make your way up the stairs and are escorted out the side door of the last lantern. And Captain Emmerich leads you through the city to the theater district. Ooh, excuse me. And he walks you past all of these people that don't seem to really be paying attention to anyone else. They are simply drinking and eating and enjoying the characters in the theater district, those performing and dancing and playing instruments. And they don't seem to be really paying much attention to anyone else. They are kind of lost in their own worlds. And as I described to Mr. Pigeon and Twig, the theater district has these like kind of walls around them as the buildings are kind of set in ways to kind of make the rest of the city almost hidden. So you feel like you're kind of in your own little world in here. And Captain Emmerich leads you to an alleyway between two buildings and ducks along a wall and bends down and unlocks a locked sewer grate and pulls it back. And you see a ladder going down into the darkness.
Oh, it's in the ground.
This is where I leave you. I will leave it
unlocked.
unlocked. Yes.
Just in case we're able to get back this way. Very well. I don't suppose you can point us to the first of these symbols.
I don't know where they are, but...
I'm gonna
You
look
just-
around.
Yeah, so you don't see anything immediately.
Is there anything on the grate?
Not on the grate itself.
Okay.
But,
And there wasn't anything approaching the alleyway that indicated?
no.
Okay.
But you're going to want to head, and he points that way, kind of in the direction of, like, the castle where it's going. You're going to
course.
want to head that way.
Very well. Shall we?
After you.
All right.
Good luck. He pushes the grate closed and sets the lock back so that way it's sitting kind of like right inside of the locking mechanism so it appears closed. And you guys are in the sewer.
How dark is it?
It's pretty dark. I mean, there's a bit of light from the lanterns outside and, like, you know, light
They're
from...
like filtering through the grate. or
yeah,
whatever.
light filtering through the grate
In
and
this
everything.
spot.
Yep.
Can we see the next source of light from above?
Hmm. Yeah, you can see the
How
different
far
grates.
apart do they seem to be?
I would say it's probably about like 20. Yeah, that's a little short. Probably like 50 feet.
Okay. Okay. What's the shit situation?
Sure. So you
Situation.
can see that there are like cobblestone things where you're standing. There is a dip in the center where water and everything else is running through it, and there is another one on the other side.
Sure.
Classic sewer setup.
Classic sewer setup. Yep.
How wide is the platform?
The platform is 5 feet.
Okay. So
So-
5 feet on either side. And
Yeah.
then what's the length, like the width of the...
It'd be 10 feet.
Okay.
Yeah.
So 20 feet total.
20 feet total.
It occurs to me that this might not be the first time that I would have been in a sewer sneaking about looking for potentially things written in Thieves' Camp.
Sure. Absolutely.
I would be keeping an eye out for the most logical place for such a thing.
Yeah, absolutely. I would agree with you
Um,
that this is definitely not the first time that you have done this.
Very good.
Yeah.
Can I help?
Yes, yes.
I
You're
can
good
fly
at
over there.
searching for things. The lantern, for those of us less equipped, too.
Sure.
You grab both of them, yes?
I have one. Here.
You have one.
I
Sorry,
have
this
the
would
high
actually
ground.
be 15 feet wide.
So 5 feet.
5 feet, 5 feet, 15. Yeah.
Oh, 15. So
Yes.
25 feet total.
25
Okay.
feet total, yeah, for
Gotcha.
this one. Yeah.
Do I float above the water?
If you want to try that.
I've already done. I have.
Okay, yeah, you immediately drop.
How,
Drop.
how
You're,
deep?
So you're floating up. Above, like, if there's any, like, water on the actual concrete, yes, but if you step over the water...
No, I'm not stepping. I'm
Okay,
just
that's
saying
what
the
I'm
command
saying.
word.
Is there
So
like
floating.
a main? Is
Yeah.
there like a main trench? Just like classic sewer.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I thought you were stepping into
It's
the...
5
No,
feet,
no, no.
I would
15
get a-
feet, 5 feet.
I'd get a lantern lit and
Yeah, I'd give you the lantern.
and
do you
describe
want
what
the-
it is that we're going to be looking for.
Sure.
Do you want the hooded one or the bullseye?
Probably hooded for this part of things.
Okay,
I'm not
hooded.
anticipating bumping into guards in a sewer.
Sure, yeah, that would probably
At
be
least
weird.
not this far from
Yeah.
the castle.
No, that would be super weird.
Yeah, wouldn't it?
It would be strange, wouldn't it? It'd be real weird. I would describe for
High five
them
bundles.
the types of symbols I would be expecting to see.
Sure.
And just stay close and keep your eyes peeled.
Would they be on the walls?
I would tell her the most logical location that I would think they'd be positioned,
Sure, absolutely.
based on my sewer skulking experience.
Sure. Yeah, so you would say, like, in corners, possibly, like, over the top of any, like, branches to try to tell, like, where each thing
Yeah,
leads.
directional.
Yes.
Yeah, I would relay that sort of information
Sure.
to the collective.
I will
What
use
is-
my mobility to help.
Very good. What is everyone's walking order? So
I
we got
am-
5 feet.
I'd be toward the front,
Okay.
since I know more specifically what sorts of things I'm looking for.
Sure.
I'm not walking.
You're floating.
Yeah.
What is your flying order?
About? I
Are
would.
you just like over the? You're just zipping
I'm
around.
zipping
Okay,
around.
yeah. So you're just
'Cause
you're
I'm-
zipping around. You're
I'm
looking for
looking-
things.
yeah.
Sure. All right. So Shay at the front. Who's behind Shay?
So like if you need to like roll a dice to figure out where I am in relation to them
Yeah,
at any
you're
given
fine.
point, you can
Yeah.
do that.
Okay.
I guess I'd be behind Shay.
Okay. What about you two?
I'd probably be in front of Mr. Pigeon.
Okay.
So.
Twig and Captain Pigeon. Okay, and Dandelion is zipping about.
I guess Shimmer would also be
And Shimmer, yeah.
zipping about.
With my vast sewer skulking experience, I would be behaving in a manner befitting the sort of care I imagine I would need to
Sure.
take
To
in a
not
sewer
slip and
that might be
fall.
marked.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, so you guys begin walking.
I'm growing concerned.
You should be.
You, Paul, are against
Oh, Ray doesn't give a shit.
So you guys begin walking along this very dark, very slimy sewer where every 50 feet is a flash of light from above, moonlight just kind of lazily drifting through these grates. And you make your way about 200 feet or so before you get to what seems to be an intersection of several branches of sewers intersecting with this one. Dandelion, please make a perception check as well as Shay being at the front. Sorry, the investigation. I don't know if I said that or perception.
You said perception.
Okay,
but,
investigation, sorry.
13. Oddly enough, it's also my passive.
Oh no.
Consistent.
Oh no.
4.
Okay,
Nice.
so Dandelion, you don't see really much of anything. You notice these branches. And Shay, you notice above each of these branches is Thieves' Hand scratched above each of these branches.
Does it appear to be like descriptions of which districts they head toward?
Yes, so I will read you what each of those are.
Sure.
So above the first one on the far side, you can see there's like,
Far side, left or right?
sorry, so left side.
Far left.
Yeah, I will also specify that you see a plank of wood has been laid across the center of
Sure.
this 15-foot
So
gap.
we're coming in the classic circular. We came in from one direction.
Yep.
There's a big pit in the middle that probably has some water in it.
Mhm.
There's a plank across the pit.
Yep.
There's a perimeter around the edge.
Yes, and you
And,
have everything coming in.
We descended. There's a trench in the middle. So which side of the trench were we on?
Sure, so let me actually just draw
Heading
this.
into the room where presumably the trench leads to the pit.
Yep. Let me draw this because this will be easier.
Sure. I bet Felix is in the pit.
You've been in the pit, Felix? I've been in the pit.
The pit Felix. As opposed to a pit fiend.
Oh God.
But maybe both. Felix holding back a pit fiend.
I don't know the CR of a pit.
In the
fiend.
pit. Yelling, open this pit up. Throwing them bows. Two-stepping like a motherfucker.
Thank you for that.
You're welcome.
Needed that. I get the feeling this isn't going to be so straightforward.
So, here's what you're looking at.
We came in from this way.
Yeah, sorry, let me mark on. You guys are opposite the 7.
A lot more
Okay,
intersections
so
than I
we're
thought.
here.
Yes, you're right there. Plank of wood is laying across from there to the other
From
side.
here to here.
Yes. Yeah.
How wide?
It's like a 5-foot plank.
Step, how sturdy?
Seems to be pretty sturdy. It's like
Does it
on
look-
each side.
Well maintained? Or does it look like it's been sitting in a sewer?
This looks newer.
Okay.
Yeah.
So these are all tunnels coming off of this pathway?
Yes. So you have the number 1. Has scrawled above it in Thieves' Cant the word God-man.
Should do that one.
Yeah, it's that one.
That's the one.
Which you would understand to mean priest in actual translation.
God, man. Man God.
It just makes me think of God and
Man God big.
Avengers. Where he calls him God Man. Thor God Man. Stop it. You're imitating the God Man.
The second one would say fruits and vegetable dami, which in Thieves' Cant means queen and king house. The third one would say plenty laddie, which means prisoner's house. The fourth one would say fakements, which means makes things. The fifth says Metsas Namos, says Ogle Fakes Reckons, which means eyeglasses thinks.
So we're able to read the words that you're saying first. the
Yep, but
ridiculous
to you
ones.
it is just gibberish words.
Other than God Man, that one's
Other
pretty.
than Godman, yeah, that one's, yeah. 6 is labeled Metsis Namus, which means silver it means silver and then depart or out.
Well, there's only 6, right?
Yes. And then the main one that you were on, where the 7 is labeled Shush Holdall Ludies, which means steal bag people.
Don, you could have labeled them on Lurt Socks. You could have done it. Now I'm concerned.
That is what you have in Thieves' Cant.
All right. I'm pointing at the third one. And not explain.
Yep.
Does this seem like standard sewer fare?
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
Yeah. Yeah, from what you've done before, this seems to be
Nice.
labeled where it doesn't specifically say what it is. Even if you know the translation, you still have to figure out some of them. But you know that number 3 is
Prisoner house.
the most obvious. Yeah.
Das Prison House.
Yeah.
Going that way.
Number 3,
The markings. How old do they look?
they look very old. They look like they've been there for a while. You can see that they've definitely been like recarved in over themselves, but they've been there a while.
Okay. How trafficked does this area look?
Kind of hard to tell with the like wetness. Make an investigation check for me.
Is there just like a slick over everything?
Yeah, kind of like a mossy, not mossy, like mildewy slickness.
Investigation's 8.
Okay. it's really difficult to tell, especially in this area where all of the water and sewage is kind of flowing into this area and kind of going everywhere. It's a little bit difficult to tell.
Nothing immediately obvious.
Yeah, nothing immediately obvious as like anything recent. There are definitely like, you can see where stones have been worn down, but hard to say if that's from water or usage.
What would I know of gutter rat type people in this particular city based on things I might have been told about this city or learned about this city
Sure.
for reasons?
Sure. Yeah, so I would say from your research and things, make a general history check for more specifics, but I'll give you a general.
Natural 20.
Okay.
21.
Yeah, so you would say that people that frequent these areas kind of stick together in terms of, being in the know and obviously set these markings up for other people to find their way through here if they are also in the know. You would also know that, thieves can and cannot be trusted. It's a little hard to
Would I know
read.
anything specific about factions of thief type people in this particular city?
Sure.
And whether or not any of them are dangerous or
Sure.
particularly holed up in the sewers?
Sure. I would say that you would not have heard anybody that is holed up in the sewers in particular, but you would have absolutely heard of all sorts of various people that use these sewers to navigate. Some are friendly, some are not. Should you... With the natural 20... I would say that it also depends on where you're going and what you come across somebody else doing. But generally, you don't step on other people's kind of turf and their stuff if they're in the middle of something.
Very well.
Mm-hmm.
2 dots prison house.
Very good. You guys walk across this wooden board carefully. If everybody could please make a dexterity check for me as you walk across this wooden board.
I'm not gonna.
You're floating, so you're fine. And you're floating, so you're fine.
Just a dex check?
Athletics or acrobatics, I guess.
Gotcha. 21.
Okay, you're good.
26.
You're good.
15.
Okay, you're good. It wasn't a hard check. Just in case anybody fell in.
Get him.
Yeah, you guys scuttle your way across. And you step into this slightly smaller. This one is 5 foot, 10 feet, 5 foot. So this one that you came from is much larger and is obviously like the central pipe for the city. And the rest are offshoots to specific areas of the city.
Based on the direction we were going when we came in, where would I think that this went? Since it wasn't marked.
Yeah, so since the place that is marked as the Godman priest is that way, this way would be from west to east, so towards the far wall to the eastern side of the city.
Okay.
Is the sewage flowing in a specific direction?
Into this and flowing that way. Flowing west to east.
So it's flowing out. It was flowing with the way we were walking out the other side.
Correct, yes. Mm-hmm.
And then are all these also flowing into this hub and down in that direction?
Yes.
So we're now walking against the
Correct,
current.
you're walking against the current now with this, yes.
Over here at Plenty Laddie.
Plenty Laddie, prisoner's house.
Yeah, over here at the prison house, Das prison house.
Das prisoner's house.
I would like to look closer at the markings and look for any additional markings that may have been placed by somebody, potentially warning about things to come.
Sure, absolutely. Make an investigation check for me.
Can I keep helping?
Yeah, absolutely. You can.
Do you want me to roll, or do you want to give him advantage?
I don't know that it warrants enough for Dandelion helping to give advantage, because you are kind of zipping around. If you're... I guess you were told how to look for specific things, so yeah.
I would tell her what I was.
Sure, absolutely. Yeah, I'll give you advantage with that.
Higher one's a 16.
Okay. Yeah. So as you're walking, so you would make your way through, and you see more markings kind of along this wall. You see the word underdubber, which means prison guard.
About how far in?
Uh,
So there wouldn't have been anything at the door.
correct. Nothing at the door.
We start heading in about how far in before.
Yeah, so let me just kind of... It's probably about like 100 feet
Okay.
before you see that marking.
Are there any like cross paths or turns in this route that
It's-
we're approaching, or does
Sure,
it?
it's pretty straight from what you can tell. You're kind of going at an angle.
So it's just like part way along the way.
Mhm.
It doesn't look like it filters out anywhere. Is there any openings above?
No openings above.
Okay. We should be quiet. Just in case. I'm not worried about you. But just careful. Like to be extra quiet.
Sure, absolutely. I'm actually going to say that it's probably like 20 feet in. You see that written.
Okay.
Yeah. Based on where you guys are and where that would be written, it's about 20 feet in. So you
Okay.
guys are now being quiet as you walk through the sewer, which is still pretty loud itself. Not your movement, but the water flowing through these little, like, drains and things that are coming down. What I mean by no offshoots, there's no, like, traversable offshoots. There are obviously little pipings and
Okay,
things
yeah.
leading into this.
We've seen a couple of these markings. I would lower the hood on the lantern
Sure.
to put out enough light to still see if there's more of them at around the height that these other ones have been placed.
Sure.
But not leave it so open that it would be super obvious.
Yeah, absolutely. And you guys make your way in and along as you are being extremely quiet to make your way. And you continue for about another 200 feet. And you enter into this wider circular area. And at the back of this, with your lowered lantern light, everybody make a perception check for me.
17.
11.
23.
20.
Okay.
6.
Okay. So Rin does not see. You guys see 3 men standing at the back near a larger grate, kind of fiddling with a lock, and I'll have everybody make stealth checks for me as you make your way in here.
Sweet.
When do we see them? So, like, depending on how far in we are at
Sure.
the time of seeing them, I would not necessarily
Yeah,
barge right in.
sure.
I'd maybe take stock, see if I think they're guards first.
Sure, absolutely. Yeah, so it's a smaller circular area, so as you kind of get close to that, as you're walking, you see people in the distance. They do not look to be dressed like guards.
Okay. Do they appear to be armed?
I'll have you make an perception check with disadvantage because it is dim light.
while we're like stopping and looking, gently tap you and give you advantage on stealth for an hour.
Thank you very much.
That was super low. On perception. It was like 6
Okay,
on the perception check.
cool.
Would have been bad if I didn't have it, maybe.
So you see cloaks. You don't see much more than that. It is very dark,
Gotcha.
and your lantern's lowered.
Do they look like they're doing something they shouldn't be doing?
They're
Or do they
for
look
sure.
like they're confidently going about their
Sure.
business?
They're standing in front of this grate fiddling with something. They
Sure.
definitely don't look like they're like making repairs.
I'd point them out.
Sure. What is everybody's stealth?
8.
Okay.
21.
I'm flying.
Not great.
You are flying.
11.
Okay.
23.
Holy Moses. All right. Yeah, they don't see shit. You rolled a natural 1 and a 3. Good lord.
Nice.
Okay.
It's good.
Yeah, these cloaked figures do not make any indication that they know that you're here.
You said it's another like circular,
Mm-hmm.
similar to this, not
Similar
as
to that,
big
but smaller.
because it's
Yeah, and
from a
there's
smaller offshoot.
and where that other offshoot would be, that would be where the other grate is that they're fiddling with.
Okay. Are there any other exits out of the room?
Just this.
All right, so we're going through the same grate.
Mm-hmm.
All right. I think we need to go that way.
They're over there. Who are they?
I'm not certain. We should probably just make ourselves known.
Motion like with a stabby motion.
They might be able to help.
For recording purposes, I'm not going to keep whispering, but I'm
Mhm.
going
Yeah,
to just...
absolutely. You're whispering in,
I
in
would-
character.
In character, we are
Yes.
whispering.
I'd like, I don't know, just like kick something, make
Sure.
some noise from a distance.
Sure, absolutely. You see. All right, you notices that. You see a taller figure whip around. What do we have here? What are all you pretty people doing down in the sewers?
Just passing through. How about yourself?
Business?
On your way to the Plenty Laddie?
Yes.
Yes. Us as well. Any reason in particular?
Got one of our men in there.
Same.
Hmm.
Perhaps we could stick together. I don't suppose you know much about what to expect.
Not a damn thing. But we're getting him out of there.
Should be careful. Here there's traps.
Appreciate that.
Know how many guards to expect?
Don't.
We do.
Make a persuasion check.
$17.
Okay. Might be useful to have extra bodies. Split up, cover more ground.
Did you get the grate open yet?
Nearly. Trying.
I'll leave you to it then.
How does it work?
How does what work?
The grate.
How does he feel about a pixie?
That's a great point. The fuck is that?
Hello.
It's a friend. Real sneaky like.
I like sneaky.
We do too.
Do you have one of your bands? Okay.
How does it work?
She's very curious.
There's a lock.
It's like a secret compartment.
Oh.
This one's holding the prison. It's secret because it's underground.
The lock is on the outside. Are we able to see the grate at all? Or are they...
It's pretty dark.
Okay.
How big are the gaps in the grate?
That's what I was
They're smaller than a foot. She would not be able to squeeze through.
Oh,
I mean, I'm a foot tall.
Sure.
Yeah, she's...
Yeah, Dandelion could probably squeeze through.
Like, unless they're like...
No, yeah, you're. It's a good point. A normal
duck
sewer
down, treat
grate.
it like a tiny doorway.
Yeah.
Because, like,
Yeah.
I, a human, can fit through things that are smaller than 5
Absolutely,
feet
you're
tall.
right. That's fair. No, Dandelion could probably fit through if she felt so inclined to. I don't know that would help you, but she
could scout ahead.
If you
Check
would like
for-
to make that decision, if you would like to make that choice, that is
Dandelion's
entirely
very
up
quiet.
to you.
With the
I'm not
sleepy
making-
necklace?
I'm not making any sploosh sounds.
It's true.
Neither am I.
I guess we're a pretty quiet group, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I would start approaching them.
Sure.
Need any light?
No, we're all right. Don't want to cast light in there.
Do you know how much further?
I think it's right through here. Cobblestone on the other side.
Should switch lanterns.
I'll take the lantern from you.
I'll pull up this one.
Yes, the other one.
Mm-hmm.
How are you holding that?
Very careful. Like, yeah. Like,
Yeah, you pull out the other lantern.
Ready the bullseye.
I'll give it to Shay.
Very good.
Yeah,
Tighten the beam.
sure. And you hear and the lock pops open. All right then.
That was fast.
Yes, we've been here a bit.
Very good.
Other guy pulls the lock off and slowly lowers the grate. Sets it down gently on like a blanket below him as it folds down.
Just one of your men.
It's 2. It's 3 total.
Only one of your men inside.
Yeah. My brother,
What's his name?
Tommy.
Does he look like you?
Twins.
Just in case we bump into him after we split up.
Much appreciated. Who are you looking for?
It's a young man.
He's about this tall.
Hmm.
And I'll just, like, I'll fly.
He's very
Sure.
big.
Keep my eyes peeled for a tall man.
He'd be very obvious.
Sure. Out of place?
Possibly.
Right. Keep my eyes peeled.
He's a religious man. He'd probably be kneeling or something.
Oh, I'm religious.
Kneel often.
Not really.
He's very religious.
Well, he pulls the grate in and you guys all begin crawling through this grate.
I would like to wait.
Sure.
See if they
absolutely.
go first.
Sure. Yeah, so the 3 of them crawl in.
Very good.
They look around and look back, and he sticks his head through. You want left or right?
Shit.
Are there any markings?
That we can see. Just 2 hallways.
Very well. You can have left.
All right. Good luck. Stands
You as
in
well.
for them. Start walking away.
I would crawl through, look for some markings just in case. They weren't very perceptive.
Make this a little smaller.
It'd take them a while to notice us.
Yes. And if they were down here for very long, it took them a while to get the lock.
They seem ill-equipped.
They distract a couple guards. Could be worthwhile.
We can help them find their friend.
If we bump into them.
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully, right was the correct choice.
If not, I guess...
We didn't
It
have
felt
much
like-
to go off of.
It felt correct.
It felt right.
Mm-hmm.
You're lucky we can't make a lot of noise right now.
Sure.
Everybody ready?
Ready? Yeah?
Okay.
How big is this? Is this?
It's like a 5 foot. There's like a little area where you can see stuff has been like dumped into this essentially.
Okay, but we're not like crawling through this.
No, I mean it's not clean. It's like gross
I don't have
they
to
just
touch the.
no.
sides.
There are stuff on the side, but like you're crawling through a grate where they just toss like shit buckets into.
Nice.
So.
Just say, are we about to crawl out the bottom of a toilet? Like, is that what?
No.
Okay.
Yeah, this is just like a essentially where they dump this. Yeah, you're not
Okay.
entering the bathroom.
You're worried about like
Well,
spiders.
Guess
sewer
you're not
room.
it.
Yeah, the sewer. Yeah. Yeah. So you guys step slowly, one by one, out of this grate into a completely dark hallway, where you can see one hall going straight left from where you're standing, and one hall going straight right from where you're standing.
Is it pitch black?
It is pitch black.
Any light sources anywhere in the distance that might be coming out of a room or from around a corner?
Sure. So you can see down to the left a very small light, perceivably the men that you just sent down there. You do not see any other light at this point.
Okay.
Just give them a little juice.
Mm-hmm.
A little.
Yeah. You
So
slowly
small
turn the
juice.
light.
Just some.
Just a little bit. Sure.
A smidgen of juice.
Absolutely.
A modicum of juice.
Probably like 500 feet.
Like one of those. Like one of those probiotic
beams
like
on.
juice shots. Worth of.
Okay.
Do you want me to go ahead?
Let's- Yes. Quietly.
Mhm.
If you see anyone,
I won't touch anything.
don't speak to them and come back and let us know. Don't get too far ahead. That way you can find your way back.
I'll have Shimmer stay with you.
Very well.
Mhm.
You can find Shimmer. All right.
No.
Before you fly
Carefully.
away, I'll try to poke you and give you the blessing of the trickster for an hour.
That's advantage.
Advantage on stealth.
Mm-hmm.
I'd let
Sorry.
her
That's
dip a
okay.
little bit ahead, and then I would, because there's no other light sources really down here, I would follow behind slowly.
Should keep an eye out for magical traps.
I'll cast Detect Magic.
Very good.
There's a bomb.
Now we disarm it and take it.
And we
just-
strap it to the other guys we found. Oh my god! And we slap them on the ass and send them in the other direction.
Very good. So, ahead of you, how far does Detect Magic?
Was it 30 feet?
30 feet.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. Yeah, so from where you are standing, you don't see anything to the left, from what you can tell. But you do see about 20 feet in front of you, there is a dip to the left, and that's pretty much the extent of your vision with this lantern. You can see there's a hallway that curves to the left.
I have my fun goggles on.
Right.
60 feet.
Right. So still dim light, but you can see in the dark with that. Yeah, so you can see...
Detect Magic only has 30 foot.
Yeah. So you can see that the hallway in front of you, you see 60 feet out before your vision cuts off, and you can see that it goes further. 20 feet in front of you, you see there is a hallway to the left. And you do sense magic in that left hall.
Okay.
You get... Does it tell you the school?
Yes.
Yeah.
Transmutation.
Wonderful.
Whole prison is a mimic.
We're good at finding this.
Hold on 1 second, sorry.
We turn the corner.
Sorry,
and find
abjuration.
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 Okay. Well,
That's
that's
scarier.
that's a lot different.
That's a bigger problem.
Transmutation was like,
transmutation.
ooh, it's gonna be fun. Abjuration's like, oh man, not again.
It's gonna be like a fireball or something. Or is that evocation?
That's evocation.
Which one's abjuration again?
Abjuration's protection.
Well, then again, I'm glad it's not evocation.
That would be alarming.
That'd be a trap.
So I'll take it we're proceeding down the hallway.
I am proceeding down the
It's up
hallway.
to you're proceeding down the hallway. Sure.
I'll like peek around the corner.
Okay, you're going to peek around the corner. Sure. Make a perception check with disadvantage because it is dark.
Very dark. We'll use this one. Uh-oh. Perception?
Mm-hmm.
Not performance? Actually, my perception's not that bad, but I still rolled a 5, so it's an 8.
Just something to keep in mind.
Sure. Absolutely.
Full transparency.
Yep. Sure. And you're okay with that, obviously, being pointed out if that's noticed.
If you feel that it's something that
Sure.
would make sense to do
Absolutely.
so at some point,
Cool.
use your DM discretion. Obviously, it's not a...
Yeah, absolutely.
So.
8.
Okay. Yeah.
This is down like a little side hallway. So I'm
Yeah, so
peeking.
you peek down. You're not going down the hallway, correct?
Mhm.
You're just standing back and looking.
Yes.
Okay.
I was told I wouldn't touch anything.
Very good.
Or I said I wouldn't touch anything.
Cool.
I'm just scouting.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so you look down this hallway and you see about 40 feet and a hall to the right. I'm standing, what do you mean? And 60 feet down, you see a hall to the left, and then it continues on and you don't see that far.
And then I'll creep forward, not down the hallway, but like the way I was
Mm-hmm.
going.
Continue. this
Continuing
way.
straight.
Sure.
Yes.
How far are you going and what is everybody else doing?
I assume you would have pointed out that there was magic ahead.
Yeah, and I would want to go up to that and
Yeah.
look down.
Yeah,
the
I would
hallway.
be behind him. Slowly, quietly.
Sure.
I'll scout ahead. I'd say about 60.
Total feet?
What?
60 total feet?
Away from the group. So as they come forward,
Okay.
I'll go a little further.
Sure.
Maybe like a little further than that, but I don't want to lose sight of
Mhm. Sure.
them for too long.
Yeah. So they move up to this hall, and you go 60 more feet, and you come to a dead end with a hallway leading to the left.
I'd like to peek around that hallway.
Sure. Yeah. Make a perception check with disadvantage.
14.
Okay. So you see about 40 feet. There's a hall to the left. And there is about 20 feet in front of you. There's a hall to the right. And So from where you're standing, you see 20 feet hallway. 20 more feet hallway, hallway.
And it keeps going after that?
I mean, from what you can tell, it stops there. Sorry, it's like a T intersection, kind of.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah. So what is everybody else doing?
Anytime we...
So, for reference, this is what you see so far. You came in here. You guys are here looking down this hallway where Dandelion saw this way. She is now here and sees this way, that way.
Okay.
You guys are here.
Okay.
Dandelion's here.
Anytime we make a turn, what's the floor condition?
It's cobblestone.
It's cobblestone.
Yep.
Anytime we make a turn, I want to leave 3 ball bearings where the floor meets the wall
Sure.
to indicate where we came from.
Mm-hmm.
Something that I could shoot a lantern at on the way back to
And get the
navigate
reflection.
back.
Sure, absolutely.
So as we turn the corner, where is the source of magic coming from?
Sure. So you see about 5 feet into the hall up on the wall in the corner of the ceiling. You get a small detection of abjuration magic.
Is it a rune or is it just glowing from the wall?
So I'll have you make a perception check with disadvantage because it is dark.
Why are you like this?
So that's a dim light. It's completely dark, so dark vision is dim
I
light.
am with him with the bullseye lantern.
Okay, sure.
If we don't hear people, I would.
Shine
Yeah,
the light.
I'd like have a hand over it while
Sure.
we were progressing forward with
Sure.
like just enough to see. But
Sure. Would you point out to Shay where you're looking?
I mean, if I'm having difficulty, yeah.
Okay, sure. Yeah, so he shines the light. So you can make it without disadvantage because you're pointed right at it, but you are 5 feet away.
I'm putting
18.
them the
Okay.
path that we've
Um,
traveled. And I'm
So
about to
Rin would be
verify something.
familiar with glyphs. This looks like a glyph of warding.
With leaving ball bearings behind,
Mhm.
just to clarify, I would leave so like we came out of that first hallway and on the left.
Yeah.
I'd leave them there.
Okay.
If we turned down that second hallway that like doesn't continue on,
Sure.
I'd leave them for the way back and I would scoop them on the way back if we came back out
Got it.
and went a different way.
Sure. Yep, so you can trace
Just
your path.
Yep.
Yep, cool.
So I'm assuming this isn't concerning. It's just there.
I'll have you make a history check for me.
Arcana or history?
History.
Okay. 22.
Okay, 1 second.
I'd rejoin the group once I saw what I did.
Anything?
Another hallway.
How close are you guys to that, by the way, as well?
I mean, probably 5 feet from it, just so
Okay.
I can see it.
Okay.
I mean, I'm assuming it's right as we turn the corner.
Oh, was it? I thought it was further in.
Yeah, wherever like it would be located, because we turn the corner, I would look at it immediately. So
Okay,
wherever
sure.
the distance is.
So you're looking at it.
Yes.
Not everything is
Is it
dangerous
an
to
extended
look at.
peek?
If you make me make a save, I will walk out of the dungeon.
Those are those traps.
No,
You guys
please.
are fine. for right
Okay,
now.
for now.
For now, you're fine. History check. So you would, from your studies, understand that a glyph of warding can be used to trigger any number of things. You would know that it could be used to trigger traps. There are things for essentially like things that would or would not trigger a glyph. There are things that you can make it, that you can specify that would not trigger a glyph.
So
there
I
are-
can't discern what would trigger it.
Correct. You would not know from the magic. Only the person that cast it would know. But you would know that there are a multitude of scenarios in which that could or could not be triggered.
Great. I don't think we should go this way.
All right.
There's a glyph of warding. It could potentially set off a trap. I don't know how.
So we came down, turned here, turned left here, and you're saying the glyph's in here somewhere?
Yeah, so you're here. You're standing at this intersection right here. The glyph is 5 feet in
Okay,
up
so
the
the
wall.
glyph is here.
Yes.
He can see it because of detect magic. Is there any visible thing to somebody not detecting magic? So, like, he told me it's there.
Sure, absolutely.
But, like, do I see anything there?
Make an investigation check with disadvantage.
It's, 12.
Yeah, so you see that a rune is carved into the wall. Up at the top, like on the corner.
Okay.
Probably shouldn't trigger it if we don't have to.
Don't know what sets it off.
I'd shine the light down the hallway past that. The hallway comes to an end,
Okay.
right?
The hallway
comes
past
to an
that.
end down here. Or does it continue?
It continues.
Okay.
Yeah.
So as far as the lantern would shoot light, it keeps going.
Yes.
Hear any signs of life?
Yeah, whoever wants to listen, make a
Listen check.
perception check. You don't have that with disadvantage because you're just listening. You're not peeping.
Your ear peepers.
Yes, your ear peepers.
17.
7 or 17?
17.
17. Those are here. Yeah, I would say that at this point you do not hear anything from where you are. Complete silence.
Alright.
There's another hallway down that way. It went that way,
Very well.
and then it went that way.
It's worth checking. Make sure the young master looks at it, just in case.
Yep.
I didn't touch anything.
Good.
Would either of us, any of us, think that her flying around at the size that she is would trigger a ward if she wasn't touching it? Now that we've seen one?
I would say with Rin's history check, you would have enough to determine that the rune itself does not have to be touched.
Right.
There are different triggers. Could
Right.
be proximity, could be a specific thing.
You should probably wait to explore ahead until the young master has had a chance to make sure there's no magic.
There's most likely going to be more. Usually not just one.
I would leave one ball bearing
Okay.
in the directions that we check
That are
we don't
trapped.
go.
Cool that you don't go. Got it.
Just if we
Yeah.
have to backtrack so
Right.
we don't go. What was this one again?
Sure. Absolutely. So, you guys are scuttling on down
Mm-hmm.
to the corner. Very good.
This was like a top-down video game experience.
Yeah, you guys are a bush on my incarnate map, and I'm moving you along. I have a dungeon drawn.
Oh, just like in Fortnite.
Yeah. Yeah, so as you get to the end of this hall, as you get within 30 feet, Rin, you detect abjuration within 30 feet of you.
Wonderful. Yeah, I mean, I'll... Because it would be down the hall, right? To the
Mhm.
left?
Yep, down the hall to the left.
Yeah.
Now, is there another straight option here? Does it continue this way?
So,
Or does it... There's a turn.
yeah, so
We have to
you
make
guys are
one of
here.
these turns.
Correct, you have to make one of the turns.
Okay. Where is the glyph that he detects here? About
Glyph
the
is
same
about,
distance in?
yeah, about the same distance in, and then there's a hallway to the right, and hallway to the left, and hallway up at an angle.
So the glyph is, you said, how far down the hallways?
About 5 feet as well.
Okay. We could set it off.
Any idea how we might do that without one of us having to be present?
I don't know.
We could throw something.
Would that do it?
Maybe. You could try throwing one of your...
Just...
Sure.
Yeet.
You throwing a ball bearing?
Yeah.
At the
Okay.
glyph.
Yeah, he pointed me in the direction.
I would have just said, like... I would have pointed, like, at the down the hallway.
Sure. Yeah. So you throw this glyph. Make a...
I'm going to duck around the corner afterwards.
Make a dexterity, I guess acrobatics to try to aim it at the glyph.
Natural 20.
Okay.
24.
Yeah. So you beam this glyph with this ball bearing.
Does it
and
make like a really satisfying like
It
sound?
does, but I will say because there's nothing in here. It's kind of loud, bouncing off cobblestone. You
That's fine.
ping off cobblestone and it hits the wall and bounces around. Nothing happens. Nothing triggers from
Now
you
I'd
hitting
like
it.
to listen.
Sure.
Yeah, me too
Make a
now this
perception
time.
Yeah, I'm listening.
Mm-hmm.
Natural 20.
Okay.
24.
Fire.
2 in a row.
Oh
Sure.
my god.
So I will tell you that you can
21.
hear footsteps with a natural 20. As you're really listening, you can hear footsteps coming from this direction.
Toward this.
Yes. Yeah, you can hear footsteps approaching you coming from somewhere over here.
Back everybody up.
Sure.
How high are the ceilings?
The ceilings are about 15 feet.
Back everybody up.
Sorry, 10 feet.
I'm
You
gonna
nev-
hug the ceiling.
You
as
never
well.
said which ground.
Yeah, I want to back up and get low.
Okay.
And get ready to stab if I must.
Sure.
Yeah, what do the ceilings look like? Are they like arched? Is there any shadow up there, or does it?
I think everything is shadow.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
completely dark. It's flat cobblestone.
Okay, so it's just like a rectangular flat. It doesn't look like there's any inherent advantage other than just being up.
Correct, yeah.
Sure. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm still going to. I am going to.
Sure,
walk
absolutely.
Up
You're gonna walk up the wall.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's right, you have this.
Yeah.
If I hear the footsteps, I want to put my mask on.
Oh, God.
I-
Okay.
And pull my dagger out.
Mhm.
Nice.
I'm gonna back up so there's room next to Shay for Twig. I'm
To
just
creep
gonna-
forward.
Yeah, just gonna,
Sure. So you guys...
Too low, too high.
Yeah.
Oh
So
my
you guys
God.
are here.
Daggers.
Somebody's
You guys
back
are
there to
here.
the kill
Mr.
box.
Pigeon is in the corner up on the ceiling. Dandelion,
Dagger
you're
up.
hugging the ceiling. Okay.
Welcome to the kill box,
I'm gonna message Shay. Do you want me to lure him out?
Let's wait and see if they come on their own.
Okay.
Sorry, I'm mad at so many different things. Okay. Yeah, so you guys creep back in the shadows. You've got a clown on the ceiling. Captain Clown on the ceiling. You have Dandelion hugging the ceiling. And you hear these footsteps get closer and closer as they clang off of the cobblestone. And your sense of hearing is very heightened at this point because you can't see shit. I assume you've put the lantern out at this point. Because
Yeah,
you're all
we
hiding.
backed around the
You backed
corner.
around
Yep.
the corner specifically to hide. I figured I would clarify, but
Yep.
logically. You hear
Just leave us sit
all
pointed
you
down the
hear is the sounds of this clanging down the hallway, getting closer and closer to you, and rounding.
There's no light
Yeah, as you approach, you see a light.
Okay.
That's fair. Good point. Yeah, that's correct. You would not see a light for a bit.
Okay.
And then you see a light illuminate coming from this corner. And you see a guard round the corner and make his way down towards the sound.
Mm-hmm.
And as he rounds the corner, this lantern illuminates and shines down this hallway as he walks to look for the source of this sound.
Did he just light the lantern, or did he come with it lit?
He just lit the lantern.
Does it seem as though it's inevitable?
I mean, he's right there. He's walking in your direction.
It is a guard.
It is a guard, yes.
He's heading toward this glyph.
He is.
Okay.
So he... I'm trying to think of if he...
If he knows.
Yeah, you're on the ceiling. It's only 10 feet high. I'm going to say that he sees you. I mean, logically, if he lights up a hall...
look up.
Would he
Just
be?
a man in a full, like, captain's regalia.
That's horrifying.
Would he scan the whole hallway?
Not as horrifying as the clown.
Yeah, so as he illuminates the light, he scans, and as he's leaning up, if you guys would like to react as he is panning the light upwards, he's about 15 feet down the hall from you.
You know, I mean, if he looks like he's going to look up at me, I will.
Sure, I will say that he is behind the glyph at this point.
Can I duck behind, like, the wall so I can, like, peek out the corner? But, like, be up. Like, up high.
So,
to
like,
see him?
around the corner peeking out?
Like, if he's coming down this way,
Mm-hmm.
I want to be right, like,
Okay,
here.
sure.
Peeking.
Sure.
Up against the ceiling.
Yeah.
But, like,
Yep.
just peeking.
Yeah. So you see this guard. So, Mr. Pigeon, if you'd like to react and, like, dive at him or something.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, nope. I suppose I would. Yeah, I would just jump at him. I would try to, I would slip the daggers if I saw the light was coming, so I would just try to dive on him to cover his mouth, and I would have a hand ready on like my other dagger or one of my sickles, but I would definitely have a free hand to try to cover his mouth.
Sure. So you're diving at him to try to cover his mouth.
Yes.
Perfect. Okay. I will let
With the
you
full
do
awareness
that.
you're diving past the ward, because he is on the other side of the ward. That you would know is
Yeah,
there,
you would be
because we've
diving
discussed
past.
it. That's why we threw the thing.
Uh-huh. I mean,
It's your call.
I mean,
I'm
I
just
wouldn't want to.
reminding
I would
you
want to postpone until it looked like.
inevitable.
Yeah.
I would say at the point where he starts to move the lantern, you're going to be seen. So it's
Sure.
either you do
How
nothing.
close to the glyph is he then?
He's about 5 feet from it.
So
You're going to
doesn't-
have to go through it to get to him.
Gotcha. So he does look like he's stopping at a perimeter. Would I be able to like infer that? Like it looks like he's now scanning because he's met like a.
Mm-hmm.
That would be a.
At least
okay.
initially, sure.
Yeah, no, I don't even know if that's right, but I would have a reason
Yeah.
to perhaps believe that maybe he's not going to cross that threshold then before seeing
You
it,
can
at
make
least.
that inference, sure.
Okay, yeah. I would then not do that, and I would instead cast blindness on him.
Sure. So what does that have me do?
Make a Constitution saving throw.
That is a 13.
It is a 14 for the save.
Okay.
Nice.
On that, we are going to roll initiative.
Ooh. Oh no.
I would say for casting a spell, since there is a cast time, that would have to take place within the initiative and not before.
Okay.
So
Would we
if
get
you
a surprise round?
you wouldn't get a surprise round because he has a lantern and sees you. You'd be, again, if you want to dive at him, you can, but physically casting a spell is going to take enough time that it would have to be within the initiative
It's a
proper.
single action, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's your call.
Yeah, there isn't a surprise for that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Would we be able to surprise him since we're not in vision?
Yeah, I mean, you're around the corner. You're not seen.
Okay.
Yeah. So everybody rolls initiative. Sorry, that's my bad.
Okay. Right.
16.
16. Mr. Pigeon?
7.
7. Twig?
19.
Rin?
16.
Dandelion?
Also a 7.
Scarred a savage.
He's not a savage. Okay, so first up is going to be Twig.
And he is behind the glyph.
Yes.
Okay.
So he's already seen Mr. Pigeon at this point?
Did he see Mr. Pigeon?
He did.
He cast blindness on him as he was pulling the lantern up.
Well, the lantern,
he
it's
have?
only 10-foot ceiling, so with it being, it's going to light up the whole space. I described that poorly. I apologize.
Sure, I'm asking
Yeah.
more from the standpoint of he would have done it when he knew it was inevitable that he would be seen,
Sure.
as a response to him
Yeah.
approaching.
Yeah.
Yeah, if there wasn't enough time for me to do it, I'll just take the spell slot
Yeah,
back
yeah,
to
yeah.
make it easier.
Yeah, so the range is 30 feet. So the hallway is longer than that. So as he illuminates... Sorry, I genuinely messed up describing how this
Yeah,
occurred.
because he would
That's-
see
Yeah,
him
that's my
before.
bad. Yeah, he would have seen you before he entered the range of that spell. Because
Okay.
he's turning on the lantern as he rounds the corner here, which is longer than 30 feet for the range of blindness.
Gotcha.
Yeah, sorry. That's my bad.
So he would theoretically see something, just... You
I mean, he
walking
would see
closer.
somebody on the ceiling.
It's Captain
There's
Pigeon.
nothing else in
Yeah.
here.
Yeah.
So the only thing he sees is you on the ceiling.
Sure, so that if
Yeah.
I felt like he saw me already, I wouldn't cast.
Yeah, absolutely. You can take the spell slot back. That's my bad. I apologize.
No, that's okay. I would wait. I mean, maybe I guess if he walked right up to me, maybe I'll try again. But
Sure.
yeah, for the time being.
Okay. Yeah, Twig, you're up first. You're around the corner.
Okay. Would I know that he's seen Mr. Pigeon at this point?
We would see that
You'd see the
Mr. Pigeon
light.
was illuminated by
Yeah.
light.
Okay.
So theoretically, yes.
So then when that happens, I want to like slide out from the corner and throw my dagger
Sure.
at him.
So he is. What is the range on thrown for that? He's about 40 feet from you.
Yes, so within 20 feet, you would be able to throw normally. Between 20 and 60, you'd be able to do it, but with disadvantage.
Disadvantage.
Can't go beyond 60.
Yeah, because you're dipping along the hallway and
Right. Yep.
eating it at him.
All right. It'll be 12 to hit.
12 does not hit.
Is this... What... Can you describe this person?
Sure. So, you peeking around the corner, you see a about 6 foot tall elvish man dressed in chain armor with a sword and board,
So he has
lantern in the sword hand.
So a sword on his hip,
Yeah.
a shield in one hand, a lantern in the other.
Gotcha.
Yep.
Gotcha.
He doesn't have 3 hands.
Doesn't have 3 hands.
He doesn't.
He doesn't need the lantern, does he?
He doesn't. He illuminated the hallway just to get a better look at things, because
It's
even
also-
with dark vision, it's still
Okay.
dim light if you have dark vision. So, sorry, it's sword, shield, and the lantern is in the grip of the shield hand.
What?
So
So
if
behind
his-
the shield?
Hmm?
Where's the shield?
If he's holding the shield like at his to the side, and he has the lantern in his hand. Does that make sense?
So like the shield would be on his. So he's like this, with the shield not covering him.
Yeah, I guess that doesn't make sense. Yes. So the sword has to be at his side. He has his shield and has the lantern in the other hand. Yeah, that makes more sense. Sorry.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's.
Mhm. Yeah.
It's not my turn, so.
Twig, anything else?
No? I mean, if that doesn't work, then I guess I'll just duck back.
Okay. Ren.
Can I let him go first?
Yeah, absolutely.
We tied,
sure.
right?
Yeah.
I would absolutely let you go first because I can't do hardly anything ranged.
Okay.
And I know that he's on the other side of something we don't particularly want to walk past.
Yeah, that's the thing. Yeah, so I mean, I would round the corner, see him staying on this side of the glyph. I would. You said he's about 40 feet away?
Yes, 40
yeah,
feet.
so targeting on him, I would cast Sleep.
Sure.
You can target sleep.
Well, I would put the point on him, the center.
Yeah, it's 90 feet range, so you're good.
Wow. That's 31.
That is not enough to put him to sleep, and
God
he is also an elf.
That's right, he's an elf. God damn it. Alright. And, yeah, I'll just end my turn.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing else I can really do.
Shay?
I'm going to... I'm gonna stay around the corner and hold my action to
Sure.
attack if he comes around this corner.
Cool.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. The guard.
The two of you that performed actions toward him, did you dip back around the corner instead of popping around the corner and standing in his line of sight?
I dipped back.
No, I would have stayed in his line of sight.
Okay.
So he is going to move forward and walk past the glyph and move towards you. And please make a, for Ren, who can see him, and Mr. Pigeon on the ceiling, if you can make perception checks with disadvantage in the
I
dark.
can see him too.
It's illuminated, so just regular perception.
Me too.
And Dandelion, yeah, you're on the ceiling.
Oh, why'd that roll back?
Where's he at in relation to the corner? He went past the glyph. The glyph was how far in?
5 feet. He's moving up to the corner to either hit Ren or Mr. Pigeon
So
on the
he
ceiling
will
theoretically.
come into my visibility
Correct.
because I'm just around the corner.
Yes.
Okay.
9.
9,
19.
19.
It's perception.
Yes.
12.
Okay. Yeah, so Mr. Pigeon, you see him You can't make it out, but you see him mouth something as he walks towards the glyph and walks past it. And he makes it to the edge of the hall, and he is going to swing at the ceiling Mr. Pigeon, and that'll trigger as he enters your view.
$19 to hit.
Okay, 19 hits. $15 on you, Mr. Pigeon.
That will hit.
Okay.
Those dice are so pretty.
11 damage.
Okay. And you're using what weapon? Your short sword?
Rapier.
Rapier. Yeah, so you, as he makes his way forward, you see him dip into vision, and you stab in between the, like, trying to get in between the chainmail and kind of jab him in the side with your rapier. He swings at you, Mr. Pigeon, with his sword, and you take 6 damage, and he's going to carry that through to hit Rin, who is below Mr. Pigeon. Nope, that is an 8. So he will miss you as you kind of throw your blades up in an X and block in front of your face and push his blade away.
I would love to dodge rather than make
Sure.
more noise.
Absolutely. Yeah, so you, as he swings down, you kind of like dip to the side against the wall. Next up is Mr. Pigeon.
Alright, I will drop down on him then.
It's not a ceiling clown, but it is a ceiling captain.
The captain of the ceiling.
Mm-hmm.
Almost as scary.
Horrifying.
Which one?
Not quite.
Just trying to read what I don't know if I want to do my my clone. Okay, so it uses my channel divinity. Yeah, I would not do that. There's no real reason to. I don't think I would drop down and just try to attack with my one sickle. I suppose try and drop like behind him between me and the glyph.
Yes, you're going to kind of scuttle and jump behind him.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah, let's do that. And I guess since I'm dropping down, I don't really need my free hand anymore. I'll unsheath the other sickle.
Yep, come down at him.
And the first one is going to be a 23 to hit.
23 certainly hits.
And the second one, 13.
13 does not hit.
All right. So sickle damage will be 9.
Okay. He's taking a total of 20 damage as you see Captain Pigeon dive down from the ceiling and flip behind him and just like hook a sickle along his like shoulder blade and rip back as you kind of like rake along his back right in between the gap between like his hood and his mail and just slice through the meat of his shoulder.
So cool.
Next up would be our good friend Dandelion.
Were you gonna say something?
Yes, I need to roll initiative for my bird.
Sure. Yep.
Oh yeah, same with Shimmer actually.
That is a natural 1.
All right. Well, the bird's last.
I did roll a 13.
Roll again, because I would have had advantage because he did not swing.
Sure.
Just in case.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's not.
15 for Shimmer.
Okay, 15. Just a dirty boot. Thank you very much for the 300 bits. Thank you so much.
Thanks.
We appreciate it very much, Dandelion.
Dankeschön.
Thank you. Okay, so we're going to slot Shimmer in front of you.
I mean, if you can put Shimmer where he goes.
Okay.
If I don't tell them what to do, then they just take the dodge
Fair,
action.
fair. Okay, so he would have dodged the first
Yeah.
turn anyway. Okay. Cool. And then bird. Cool.
Now, how much noise would you say that we've made so far in this hallway?
I mean, not like an absurd amount. You're mostly hitting muffled things. You're scraping against, metal and things. It's not quiet, but you also don't know where other guards are or how big this place is.
The best we know is projected 2 to 3 minutes apart on patrols.
Yes. Yep.
And potentially further away, because it seems like he walked here to investigate a noise.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So he walked out of his patrol route.
Correct.
We didn't bump into him on
Correct.
his route.
Now, here's a question that we haven't necessarily had to answer before.
Mm-hmm.
How loud is an Eldritch blast? Because it does say it's crackling energy.
It is force.
That's a great question. How loud is an Eldritch blast? It goes pew pew. Thank you, Reddit.
So anyways.
That doesn't sound very crackling.
Not like loud, but it's not quiet.
Yeah, it's not quiet.
Mm-hmm.
Hard to say. If it... I don't know that Dandelion would 100% know. It definitely would, echo and make a sound for sure.
Wouldn't know. She's cast it before.
But not in, an enclosed environment like this.
Usually it doesn't matter how loud it is.
Yeah.
I would like to use my action to use my Fey presence
Mm-hmm.
and attempt to charm this person.
Okay, let me... Fey presence.
It's a wisdom saving throw.
Okay. And you're doing it for charmed,
Yes.
right? So... Okay. Yeah. So, I'll have him roll it first. Wisdom, you said?
Mhm.
That is a 19 on the die.
That will succeed.
Okay. He is not charmed by your ways. He is also an elf, so he can't be charmed by magical means.
He can't be charmed either.
Yes.
High five.
Could have been frightening, but it also would have failed with the frightening.
Let's fucking murder him. This is now the murder dungeon.
I just wanted some information.
Just kill him. Just kill him.
I asked what he looked like and everything. Completely
You did, and
forgot.
he was like, oh, he's an elf. Nonchalantly.
And then you tried to put him to sleep,
Yup.
and he said, "Can't do that."
You can't do that, he's an elf. I was like, oh, right.
I'll try and charm him instead.
He's an elf.
Like
He's an elf. If we cut off his ears, is he still an elf?
He is still
Who's an
an
elf now?
Unfortunately, yes, he is still an elf. Dandelion, anything else?
No, No. Oh wait. Really?
Sorry, he has advantage on saving throws against being charmed.
And he can't
Oh,
be
and-
put to
Can't be
sleep
put to sleep.
Yeah,
that's
magically.
right.
Well, he
well, he
rolled
rolled
a
a
19,
19, so it
so-
doesn't matter.
No,
In this
go for the
instance-
savage nat 20. Do it.
No, 19 was the better roll on the die.
With a nat 20, I get charmed.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. That's right.
I tried to charm an elf.
We're doing really well over here.
Nice.
Would you have commanded your bird on your turn? Because your bird would have rolled lower than you in the initiative. Would you have commanded your bird in your turn?
Oh, it has to be on my turn?
Yeah.
Yeah,
you
for
c-
sure.
yeah,
Help
you command
action.
your bird. Help action.
100%.
Oh,
Sure.
I think, yeah. That's a bonus action, right?
Sure. Correct.
I would do that with Shimmer, too.
Cool.
And it would help
So-
me.
I would
Okay.
have it help Mr. Pigeon.
Cool. So Shimmer's helping Mr. Pigeon. and Ren's bird is helping Ren.
Right, that's how help works.
Mm-hmm.
No, help. Yes.
Sorry, the way that it works is
It is on its turn, right?
no, you command it. It's the next ally who attacks the target gets the benefit.
Okay.
Because it's swooping to distract, the next person would get the
next person after its
After
turn.
its
correct
initiative.
Yes, would get the advantage.
Specifically
Gotcha.
for familiars?
Yes.
That's how it works?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Yep.
That sounds right.
Yeah. So Twig, you will have advantage as Ren's bird swoops down and like scratches at this guy's face as he just kind of like moves up to kind of swat it out of the air.
I'm gonna pull out my rapier.
Mm-hmm.
and-
Zip around the corner and
Yeah. Try and. They're both 10.
oof.
Let's see. 17.
Good thing you're very
17
good
will
at
hit.
stabbing.
Will hit.
It's helpful.
Can't remember. What is my thing?
You're what?
Sneak attack. Is it 2?
It's 2.
2.
Yes.
Those D6s are enormous.
Yeah, they're really big.
Yeah, they're like the character ones. There's your Scooby-Doo or your Goonies. They make a whole run of them. They're all
12.
giant.
12 damage.
12 damage.
Yeah. And then I'm gonna move like 10 feet back down the hallway.
Sure.
Away from him.
Zip back around the corner. Ren, you're up.
I'm so fucking mad. This guy's right in front of me.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Yeah. Yeah, I'll just hit him.
Sure.
I'm gonna just hit him.
Open hand.
Just bitch.
Just get my mouth
Clap
out.
his cheeks.
I'm gonna hit him with my short sword.
Sure.
I'll try to. 17.
17 hits.
Nice.
Yep.
Nice.
All right. So that's gonna be 7 piercing,
Mhm.
and then
Yeah, flanking rules. So Mr. Pigeon would be behind, and
Yeah.
you would be on the other side.
Yeah, I'm saying.
Yeah,
he-
absolutely.
He rolled high enough to hit, but just.
Correct. Yeah, absolutely. Good reminder. I'd forgotten about that. Yes, we are using flanking rules.
Do we
So
want
you're
to
good.
set up a map or no?
He doesn't have that much health.
Okay.
bonus action.
Mhm.
Hit him again.
Sorry, what was the damage for him the
Oh,
first time?
7.
7? Okay.
You said flanking?
Yeah.
Plus 2?
Mr. Pigeon's on the opposite side. Where's Dandelion?
Oh yeah, how do I fit into that?
She above him.
Oh my god, please. Make this hit.
There's
It's
room
such a
above him and
it's
she
such a
flies.
bad roll.
Opposite. It says opposite sides or corners, so technically Dandelion being above doesn't help.
What if someone
Ren.
was below?
Listen, if one of you is a shadow and gets under him,
I beseech the demon.
Arguably.
That's a
You
corner.
know, this is a corner.
Don, I'm multiing into Warlock right now.
I'm gonna hurt us in
So
this
I guess
instance.
depending on his positioning. So he came down the hallway. Ren's here.
yep,
Mr. Pigeon's here.
yep,
He walked far enough forward for me to hit him.
yep.
So I'm here,
Mm-hmm.
and she's above him.
Mm-hmm.
So however you want to rule above him.
Yeah, she would have to be on the side of him, on the other side.
like
Okay.
in the
To
right
be-
spot.
Correct. Yeah, you'd have to be in the right spot.
Demon.
Because we're
If you slipped under him and stabbed upward, then
We're
you'd
kind
be
of
fine
sharing
that
space.
way.
I mean, if he's up against the wall, I mean, arguably he's as surrounded as he can get.
there's nowhere to go.
So
There
is
we
it
go.
plus 2?
I think it's plus 2, right? That's what the,
Yeah,
the
it's
single
2 if
flanking
it's
roll.
not the full.
Yeah,
11.
so plus 2. 11 does not.
Okay. So I missed my second attack. And that's my turn.
Very good.
I feel like with the shield, the 13 probably wouldn't have hit either.
I was just gonna say, was it with the,
Just for the record.
after all that?
I don't know for sure,
With,
but it's a
with
guess.
chainmail, he definitely would not have hit.
Listen, we had to nail that down.
Yeah, we
it's
had
very
to line
important.
down.
But we
I
need to know
understand.
future druids.
Yeah, for ceiling clowns, the flanking
Wait,
rules matter.
Oh no, wait. So did my bird help you?
It helped Twig.
So then who's the yours help?
Yeah,
It
Whoever
would be
will
helping
go
Mr.
after,
Pigeon.
Okay.
uh,
okay.
Shimmer,
Oh, it
'cause-
will be me?
Yeah.
Okay.
nice.
Because
gotcha.
it,
Yeah,
That
it's
works
Shay,
out.
Guard, Shimmer, Mr. Pigeon.
that worked out anyway.
Yes.
Sweet.
So Shay, you're up.
You were good. That was everything.
Yeah.
for you.
that's- yeah.
Let's take him to Stabtown.
Stab him.
Stabtown, USA. Natural 20.
Are you serious?
Please crit this man's face off.
Yeah, natural 20. You get in there real good.
So it's 16 before the crit damage,
Okay.
plus however
Pretty
much,
sure he's dead.
plus
Hold on.
however much crit I get from this.
Yeah, so he's dead. So if you'd like to describe how you zip out of the corner and how you kill this elvish knight.
Up and through.
Sure, absolutely.
And I'd like to cradle him from behind so he doesn't hit the floor loudly.
Sure, absolutely. Make a strength check to catch his weight.
Just a straight strength check.
Yeah.
So you're falling into me too?
Yeah, I'll give
I'm-
you... Sure.
I don't need to just Hulk him. I just don't want him to
Sure,
clatter
absolutely.
to
absolutely.
the floor.
So what
He's
I'll
falling
do
toward me.
is
I'm
I'll have
trying to
Mr.
help.
Pigeon make a dex check to catch the
To
brunt
help
of his
us
weight.
to assist.
Yes, correct.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you need a roll from me at all?
No, you're okay because you're just trying to grab him,
What am I adding to
and
it?
you have
Okay,
you have him
Dex.
his face through your blade.
Dex or acrobatics?
Doesn't matter. It's plus
It's
4.
the same.
Okay.
It's plus 4 either way.
Yes.
So-
14.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, you stab up through his throat as it pushes the chainmail off the top of his head and blood spurts out, and he begins to slowly crumple as you hold him. And Mr. Pigeon, you lock under his arms and lower this guy to the ground.
If I'm close enough, if I can use his momentum, I would like to spin him to try to make him pass the ward.
Sure. Absolutely.
Without passing it myself, if I can. But
Toss
Yeah,
him.
Yeah.
not toss, because I still
Sure.
do want to try to do it as quietly as
so-
possible. But
Sure.
See
I'll
if
have
I can-
you
See if you can trigger it without getting in it.
make a strength check, but because you're using his momentum and it's creative, I'll give you advantage.
okay.
Because that's cool. I like that.
Woof.
Okay. So that's gonna be a 7.
Okay. So you try to use his advantage, and as Shay's blade kind of slips off, you spin him, and he just kind of face plants on his face. Does not go really very far towards this ward.
Mhm.
He makes a little bit of sound from hitting the ground, but not
But
not
he
a ton.
doesn't trigger the ward.
He does not
down
trigger the
here.
ward. He does not trigger the. It's not that he doesn't trigger the ward down here; is he didn't really go anywhere. He's not.
I don't
he
think
may
He's not
be
under
close.
the ward.
I didn't make
Yeah,
it
he
far
might
enough,
not be
right?
close enough
Okay.
Okay.
to trigger what it is.
Yet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, Sly, quietly push. Just push from the feet. Just try to
Wait.
get him to cross the.
Sure.
I'm gonna check his pockets first.
Okay.
Just because it disintegrates him.
Yeah. So you kind of dig through
I'd
his
like
pockets.
to get back around the corner.
Fair.
I would like to observe this.
Sure. Yeah. So you kind of reach into his armor and try to dig through his pockets, and you, oddly enough, don't find anything other than a little flagon of oil, likely for the lantern.
I'll take that.
Mhm.
I'll give it to Shay.
Keys.
No keys.
You want this?
Sure. Can't hurt.
You haven't found the keymaster.
What does that mean? Where's the keymaster?
Why are you guys all looking at me?
Because he looked at you
Because
and he
it's
said
Paul.
it. Are you the keymaster?
No.
I'm the backup plan.
Yeah.
The young
you
master.
have this guy dead on the ground in
I'm
front
gonna
of
try
you.
to
Yeah.
inch him forward past
Sure.
the.
Yeah. Is anybody helping Mr. Pigeon push this?
No.
Just stand there watching.
I'll push on one of the shoes.
Sure.
Yeah, it's, I mean,
All right. I'll have you make a strength check with advantage.
Okay.
Again, from
Because
Dandelion
one
helping.
foot dandelion
Yeah.
something.
That's better.
Can you have half advantage?
16.
Just
Yeah. So I'll say that the two of you are able to slowly wedge him towards this and slide him along the ground.
Start sliding like
Yeah, it's not really pretty. There's a lot of scraping noise involved, but you get him to the ward, and the two of you.
Oh, you should have put your boots on.
It's 100% gonna trigger the ward.
You might.
It is.
I'm trying to have him in between.
The word
you
could
know?
very well just be an alarm that goes off. But
So
good.
you see, as
If he
he
wouldn't
gets
have-
close enough to this ward, the ward flashes, and Ren, your detect magic detects conjuration, and fog begins filling the space in front of you and wrapping around the hallways.
oh,
That's probably fine.
It could have been worse.
can we breathe in this fog?
Yeah, it's just fog.
He still has detect magic up.
He does.
Is the ward gone?
The ward is not gone. The ward is still there.
Really?
Yes.
So I'll just kind of shrug.
We had to test it.
I'll point at him and like open my mouth. I'll point at the word again.
What? I don't.
I think there was a password.
A secret word.
Yes.
I'll say in Elvish off. Lamp off.
Fog. Fog and Elvish.
Quietly. I want to listen. Anybody else coming to check out the fog hallway?
Because if they are, you know what? At this point, this is great. We just move with the fog.
I mean, we have two
Give me one.
characters who benefit from being unseen attackers. Fog might not be the worst thing for us.
I'm gonna write fog in my notes.
Yep.
Oh no, I wrote too many words. I said fog fills room. That's too much. It should just be fog.
Fog.
Write it really big too, so you know. Thank you.
Don?
Fog. Thank you. I appreciate that.
I'm gonna give this guy the old mental up and down eye, and I want to try to really know what this guy looks like. Also.
Okay.
Sans
Sure.
the
Yeah, without a dagger in the neck, what he looks like.
his rapier.
As I guess I guess I see you doing that as fog is filling the room. I bet he's a John. It's an elf
Grab-
name.
Grab his helmet, I guess.
I'll say John at the ward.
It does not.
John and Elvish.
Still nothing.
Jan.
One.
Should
I'm
we
such luck.
Sean.
hide this?
I'll look at you as fog, like just slowly. I don't think we need to.
Yeah, fog is just slowly creeping
Well, if
down
they
the halls.
come looking because of the fog.
Where do we put him?
Anywhere but the middle of this hallway.
I don't drag him around the other hallway. I
We could
mean,
push him down that one too.
or we can just be quick.
Fog everywhere.
Fog is moving.
Fog everywhere.
I say we leave him and we
Does
move.
it like get super heavy and seem to linger? Or does it seem like it's like moves and just like follows
So
some sort of air travel?
it disperses and
Because
wraps.
I mean it's magic fog.
Yeah,
so.
it wraps around the hallway to the right. It doesn't make it all the way to the end of the, it makes it to the end of the hallway and spreads slightly around that corner. It doesn't seem to be getting thicker.
The whole hallway? Or just up top?
Or
just down low?
The whole hallway.
The whole hallway.
Whole hallway.
It's getting foggy, huh? Okay.
Around like my wings and like Shimmer's wings.
Mm-hmm.
Does it look like the fog is moving? Like it's dispersible?
It is for sure dispersible, but you don't know what would be able to disperse it. There's a specific thing. Doing this is not gonna.
I mean, if it would do like slight, like a
Sure.
little bit.
It's movable.
It's movable.
It's
yeah.
not static.
Correct. It is not static.
I don't have the spell that we need to move it. I don't think I can do anything.
I don't think we want to fight all of them.
No.
And we certainly don't want any of them to be found before we fight more of them.
I don't know. I say we just keep moving.
We're playing Among Us. That's what's going on here.
Yeah. Everybody, what are we doing?
I'm gonna vent.
Okay.
How about on the next vent?
Pop up in the next minute. Yeah. What are we doing?
How heavy was this dude when I was passing him off to the pigeon?
That's a great question.
Ish. Since I didn't, bear his entire weight, but just a rough gauge. Was he hefty?
Pretty hefty. It's probably, I'd say, a total of 175 pounds.
With the chainmail too.
With the chainmail, yes. Chainmail's 55. He's an elf. He can't be that bulky.
He can if he wants to.
Mr.
Well,
Pigeon,
he's not.
you get his feet. Should check one of the next bends. If there's one that comes back in this direction, it's unlikely to be a full hallway, considering the distance between.
Hefty boy.
Sure.
I just don't want to drag him.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
wanna
absolutely.
Grab the legs like a
Yeah, you-
wheelbarrow.
do the old
Fall
half
on
and
your
half.
back. And you guys are heading down this hallway. Are we heading to the right or are we going straight?
He came from the right.
He came from straight and then right.
Okay.
So
He came from.
Yeah, he
you
came
said
from
he
over
came
here.
from this way, correct?
correct. He came from over here.
There's a turn this way.
Yes.
This
Yeah.
this
Oh,
hallway.
I would want to have the young master look this way
Sure.
to see if this was a side room where we could dump a body.
Sure. Absolutely.
Based on just the spacing between hallways heading
Yeah.
this way.
Absolutely.
Is it another
That
hallway?
coming back in that direction, that it at least wouldn't be a full hallway.
For sure. Yeah. So you.
And also because magic.
Yeah. You walk forward and creep. You don't see anything magical in this hallway. It is a hallway.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you see down, and it connects to another
Appears
area.
to connect back.
It connects
Is the
to
fog in this
something.
hallway?
The fog is in this hallway. It does not spread all the way down the hallway.
Are
Just
we able
into
to
the
tell
hallway.
that from turning the corner?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
It's
you
not
can-
super dense.
No,
it's
it's not super dense. Yeah.
It's obscuring, but
Correct.
it's not
Yeah.
oh my god.
Yep. Yeah, it's
What about if I pull the lantern back out?
Probably to illuminate all the fog.
Yeah.
yeah. So you can see that it goes this way about 60 feet, and then curves left and curves right. So based on where you guys are,
So it looks like it might do one of these.
sure might do one of those.
Dude, okay.
One of what?
Have we seen any cells? Prison
Not in
cells,
this
side
area.
rooms? It's all just been hallways.
Yes, for where you're walking right now. Yes.
Sure. And he didn't see any magic down here?
He did not see any magic down here. Not within 30 feet of where you're standing.
We should just prop him up against this wall.
That'd help to do it quietly.
You lean him against that wall.
He was probably patrolling where cells would be.
Possibly.
Why patrol empty hallways? Right?
You heard the noise we made.
If the hallways lead to the cells.
All of them? I guess why else have them?
We're obviously not the only people that have broken into the prison.
It's kind of a popular thing to do around here.
We hear anybody else coming?
Not that you can hear.
I can fly ahead again.
I don't think you should, in case there's more.
When they pushed him toward the ward, did it appear that the ward went off because the dead body went past the threshold, or did it appear that they pretty much triggered it themselves?
About half of both. Half of both there. You were.
I mean, I was around the corner, but
For sure.
like, I guess I would be asking them, but I have to ask you because you have the answer.
Sure, absolutely. I would say that like it crossed the threshold, but it didn't necessarily trigger the ward itself. Like you were by pushing it, you were probably close enough to it to trigger it because it was kind of.
So it wouldn't have
rolling
looked like
on
it went
itself.
off like in a
Immediately.
race
Slightly
line.
ahead.
Correct.
The
It-
moment he crossed it,
Correct.
it doesn't look like that's what happened.
Yes.
Sure.
Yep.
And also, perhaps if it was dangerous, it would have gotten us.
Yes, but it was fog.
Okay.
Very safe fog.
I'm gonna take one of his hands.
Sure.
Which one?
The left one.
Sure. You cut off his left hand.
Yep.
Cool.
Just
You see Shay cut
Yeah.
off this man's
Bless
hand.
you. Thank you.
Bless you.
I'm just gonna kind of do this to you because I was like, we should be quick.
yes. Oh, it was quick.
Wrap it up, literally.
Yeah, you,
Yes.
Right in the wrist.
Yeah, I would wrap it up
Right
so it
wrist.
doesn't bloody my clothes
Yeah.
super hard, and
Yeah.
I would
You're familiar with how to do
pocket
this.
it. Yes,
Yep.
I am.
Where he came from?
Hmm?
Where he came from. Shall we proceed that way?
Yes. If anybody is following his patrol route, then they would pass by this way.
Right.
I don't suppose that you can do anything about this fog.
No.
Unfortunate.
Making our way downtown.
Yep.
Walk
Who-
fast.
Cool. He's leading the way.
Fog is past.
You'll be.
The old YM.
Yeah, him,
I am.
and then I'd be behind him. If the fog ever goes all the way away, I would consider lamping it up again.
Sure.
I
So
would be hanging particularly close to him
cool.
for reasons.
Yes. So you make your way along, and as you turn this corner and make your way towards where the guard came from, you can see that in about 10 feet there is a slight dip to the left, and then the hallway levels off and continues straight because you're going at a slight angle, dip left, and you just like that.
Gotcha.
Okay.
Yep. So you're here, you see this hallway dip left, and you see this dip this way. You do not see any magic at this point.
I mean, we heard him coming.
Mm-hmm.
Any chance at all, based on because he wasn't being quiet with his footsteps, that
Sure.
we would have had a rough gauge directionally?
Sure. With the echo, it was really hard
It
to
was
tell.
pretty.
Yeah, and from where you guys are, you haven't looked down the other directions either yet. And 60 feet, you would also see at the end of that 60 feet, it continues straight and dips this way,
Okay.
and then continues this way. So you guys are here. So you can move forward and look down this hallway if you'd like, and then there's hallway this way, hallway, and
Any
continues this way.
any magic?
No magic.
Rough fog presence.
Once you move forward about 10 feet into that hallway, it stops.
And it seems like it stops, like, because it was magic, like it hit
Yes.
its limit.
Yep, it hit a limit.
And still no approaching guard sense.
Still no sounds, still no magic, just
Think.
darkness.
Next time with the ceiling trick, around the corner. Would be best. Especially if they all use the same light up the whole hallway tactic. If they have passcodes, they'll come past the wards.
We can listen.
We can. After you.
Lead the way.
Hmm. You're making your way forward. Are you looking down this little
Yeah.
hallway?
Yeah.
Yeah. So you look and you see a dead end in a little, like, ring. So you're to the left here.
Just a full blown dead end.
Yep. Right here, full blown dead end.
Is it like a just full like a stop, or is it like a little?
It's like a little
room?
half moon thing.
Okay.
Yeah. Yep.
Quarter moon. Yeah.
Pac-Man moon.
I would have resumed the ball bearing thing.
Sure, absolutely. Moving forward.
I want to walk into the little. What is it? What does it look like? Just like a round.
Yeah, just a little. It just looks like it is a dead end.
Sure. I just want to rub the walls.
Sure, absolutely.
Taps.
Yeah,
Push.
you kind of feel along and push along everything, and you don't find anything that is like out of place or weird in these cobblestones.
Okay.
It just looks like it is
Does this
intentionally deceptive.
hallway have a straight view of the hallway we're in?
No, it looks at the wall outside. So, like you can see here, but
Yep.
it doesn't. You're not able to see.
That's yeah.
Yeah.
But you can see that
Correct,
wall.
yes.
Yep.
Yep.
Okay. Not down the hallway, just
Correct.
into
Yeah,
the
you
hallway.
can see the wall. Yes.
Did you say there was another dead end?
No, just this one.
That one.
Yeah,
okay.
and then you guys would be continuing.
And we're
this
continuing
way.
now.
Yep. Still no magic as you're moving.
All right. Yeah.
So,
Keep.
I mean, we definitively know that he came from further down this way because that's a dead end.
Mm-hmm.
No magic?
Nope.
Rin. Sorry, go ahead.
The fog clears past here, so we can't see super far into the dead end. It's in the dead
It clears
end.
in front of the dead end.
It clears before the dead end.
Yes.
Okay, then I would put the lamp back on, and
Okay.
I want to look for any symbols in the dead end.
Sure. Yeah, you also don't see anything in there. Mr. Pigeon went in and kind of felt around the walls, but with the lantern illuminating around, you don't see anything in particular inscribed on the wall.
Scratch, nothing written, nothing. Okay.
Yeah.
I was just thinking back because I said I wanted to make sure I knew what the guy looked like. When I was
Sure.
looking at his armor, did his armor have like insignias or anything official? Like, did it look like a prison guard armor, or did it look like this guy's personal?
Is this stock guard or is this
Armor.
guard plus?
Sure. This is so it was chainmail. On his shield, it did have the insignia for Fjordane.
Okay.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Ren, as you're leading the way, please make a perception check with disadvantage for me.
I'm gonna kill you. I hate you so much.
With the lantern out?
Sorry, yeah, lantern's out,
That's all
so
hanging
regular old perception check.
1 dice.
15.
15. Okay. 1 second.
So mind me, I'm just over here taking off 1 to 3 at a time ball bearings off of 1,000 ball bearings.
Why bother?
Because I could run out. You don't know how many hallways are here.
It's true.
1,000 hallways.
You never know when I'm going to
Well, I
need
guess
to
it'll only
trip
be
something
300
particularly big, and I need 1,000 ball bearings to do so, and I don't have them.
So as you're making your way forward, you notice a very, very thin tripwire across the ground that catches your eye.
Oh, wonderful. I'm gonna just stop everybody. Just put my hands out. Point it out.
Is it it's wire?
Yes,
Does the light glint off of it at all?
it does.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah, absolutely.
since we now
Yep.
know that that's a thing,
Yes.
if it's actually wire.
Yeah, for this particular one, it does glint off of the wire, absolutely.
Far off the ground is it?
It's like a foot off the ground. So Ren just glides right over it.
A window underneath it.
My lip is underneath it.
Follow it,
Okay,
see what it might be attached to.
sure, absolutely.
And it's not magical.
Not magical.
Okay.
Nope. Yeah, so you follow it from one wall to the other. Make an investigation check for me.
No.
It's an at one.
Okay.
With a +3, so it's 4.
Yeah, so you see that this comes out of in between two bits of cobblestone and goes from the other side where it goes into the cobblestone, but you can't pinpoint.
Okay.
On the wire
whatever
itself.
it is, if it's some sort of trigger, it's in the wall.
Correct.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, everybody sees it, so we're good to go. Past it.
Should we look for more of these?
I would say I would slow my pace significantly after that.
Yeah. Before I project the light forward, I would take a second to
keep listening just to make sure I'm not going to shoot light down a hallway that somebody's walking down.
Sure.
But if I didn't hear anything pressing,
Sure.
I would scan in the areas that I might expect to tripwire
Yeah, absolutely.
with the light.
Yeah. So, as you guys approach this other hallway, you still do not detect magic. Are you going to the right or are you going straight? With this being where you've gone.
Can we peep down the right?
Yeah, so you're saying there's nothing glowing from that, but I would
Correct.
still peek,
Yep.
just look.
So you peek and you see... ...60 feet, T intersection.
Okay.
A T, you said?
Mm-hmm. So you guys are here peeking down this hallway.
Yep. I say we keep going forward.
This feels like backward.
Sure. Forward. I'm going to leave 5 ball bearings there.
Cool.
To remind myself that there's a tripwire not too far past that.
Good call. Yes, you guys move forward about another 20 feet to an intersection.
Gonna run out of space.
You guys move forward. You have a right turn and a left turn. On the left turn, it shoots forward in the direction that you were going. And on the right turn, there's another T intersection. About 10 feet down the hall.
Was there...
And you do see magic right in here.
Okay.
Let me know if we catch any tripwires with the light.
Will do.
Where that T is, that hallway, we wouldn't have seen a connecting hallway in the other...
Over here?
Yeah.
No, you would not.
I mean, I'd point out that there's I'm assuming it's abjuration again.
Yes.
The same type of wording that way. Maybe we don't go that way immediately.
Do we know what kind of magic is going to be on the door when we find him?
Probably the same kind.
You might want to check that way then.
Make sure it's not a door,
Right.
just in case. We know we're looking for a door with 3 locks.
Yeah, I mean, we can go that way then.
Guess unless they lock all of them with 3. There's only one way to find out.
Yep. We'll go down that way towards the glow.
Towards the glow. Okay.
Let me know if I need to recast it.
Yeah,
I don't know
yeah,
how long
absolutely.
it's been.
I would say you're still okay. Top of the next session probably will be a recasting. So you guys make your way down to this intersection towards this glow. And you see to the left and to the right, it curves hallway and curves in a hallway. So you guys come down this way, and you knew there was a hall to the right and to the left. As you get to this intersection, you can see that it curves back up the way that you were coming on the right side if you're looking at it, and
Right.
it curves back up the other way towards where the glow is.
Okay.
Does it seem like there's space in some of these turns for a room even? So like this one turns back toward what we
Sure.
know is a hallway.
Yeah. I would say it would have
Based
to
on
be
the length of
yeah.
this hallway.
Yeah, you're looking at like a closet for it turning and going up this way between there and the other wall.
Okay, so not like a full room.
Definitely not. For that particular one, yes.
Okay. Would we?
Ooh, I'm sorry, hold on 1 second. 1 second.
Sure.
I misdrew something here.
Darn it.
sorry. Longer hallway before it turns.
Okay.
Not that short. My mistake.
When we talked to the captain, which we did on camera, we literally did not ask, but he would know what size that prison cell is because he's been down here to visit.
Yeah.
We had all day to...
Absolutely. I would say that he would have told you it was like a 10 by 10 cage.
Okay.
In a room or in like
In the center of a space. Like just an open area with a 10 by 10 cage in an area.
Yeah, I mean, so he described this thing like being a maze. He described this thing like they take me different routes every time, probably so that you can't trace a route and tell somebody.
Yes.
He would have described, because he's literally been to where he was being held,
Yeah.
the approach. Straight approach to a room.
Straight approach to a room.
How big of a hall? Same size hallways all
same
throughout
size
that we've been
hallways.
seeing?
Yeah.
Same height?
Same height.
Okay.
Yeah, straight approach to a room with a open area at the end of this hall with just a cage in the center of this room.
Okay, so open room.
Yes.
Cage in the middle.
Correct. Yes.
So pretty big
a fairly
room.
sizable space.
10 by 10. How wide are these hallways?
They're 5 foot.
They're straight up 5.
Yes.
Okay, so we would need to be able to see that it opened into a room to think it was even the room that he might be in.
Correct.
And presumably we would see the cage at that point.
Yep.
A door to the room that has the locks on it, or the locks are on the cage?
Locks are on the cage.
Okay. And would he have described, because it would be unavoidable for them to not give away if there were traps leading into that room? Like, if he's literally, even if they took him a different route, the literal approach into the room.
Absolutely. Yeah, he would have said that it was a straight shot once they entered that hallway and didn't notice anybody stepping over anything or doing anything.
They'd have to tell him to step over.
Correct.
And he maybe would have noticed if they were
may or may not have
saying
heard
some
them
sort
say
of
something.
passcode,
But yeah, from what
or if they were holding him up anytime there were wards or whatever.
Yeah, absolutely. Yep.
Okay. So we'd have no reason to believe that this would be able to open into a 10 by 10. So zero reason to check around that corner.
Yep.
There's magic up this way, and then it turns back toward where we're headed.
Yeah, and
and we've not gone down the other way to see if it arcs back toward that.
Yeah.
Right.
Sorry, it also dips down this way a little bit
So
too.
it does both.
Yeah.
So that's a decision. If it only arced back, then you check the other one and see if they connect.
Welcome to
check
my
that way.
maze. My labyrinth.
This is the first time in D&D that I felt like I've like had to make just straight maps. Because you were doing it in Felfar then.
Yeah.
And this is a proper maze. Next week, bigger paper.
Check the way to the left and see what it does.
Yeah.
Because if it arcs back toward, then they would connect and we'd be able to see down that hallway.
Yeah.
Also, the wards might be
Whispering all of this as we...
Yeah, sure.
the wards might be a sign that we're going in the right direction.
Possibly.
So you guys are walking towards the ward?
No,
Or
back
walking
around the
back
other
the
way
other
to
way.
see what's up this way.
Got it. Okay. Yeah. So you guys make your way back up that way, and I'll draw out a little bit as you guys are kind of moving. So you guys make your way back up this way. You make your way this way, and you see a hallway that shoots up this way, and you see that it does connect down to the other hallway here. And from that direction, you can see that it opens up into a space down this way, and then the hallway continues this way and goes this way.
What opens up into a space?
Down here. So like if this area would be like a room, perceivably.
Okay, so there's
Yes.
a room there.
Yes.
Now, when he described the approach to the room, did he describe it as door centered leading into the room, or doorway leading into the room and the room being an opening to the side? Which is to say, if you were walking down a hallway and looking
Absolutely.
at the room, would you see the cage in the middle of the room?
Absolutely.
Or would it
He
be
would have
side saddled
described
to the
you-
hallway?
Absolutely. He would have described you being able to see Marcus as you approached.
Okay, so not
Not
that
that.
opening.
Correct.
There could be hallways past that
Yeah.
opening, but that would not literally
Correct.
be it.
But I will tell you, you hear a sound from that room.
Like a patrolling sound, or like a
Sounds like
contained
chains
sound?
rattling.
From the northern room or the southern?
Southern room. Sounds like chains rattling.
Towards the chains.
Is it? Should we make stealth rolls? Does it seem like whoever's down that way has heard us walking about?
Sure, yeah. Make a stealth check for me.
Dandelion hand advantage still.
Yeah, last an hour.
I rolled the same thing both times.
Oh, sorry, advantage. 25.
Okay.
13.
13.
19.
22.
Okay, yeah. No. This, whatever that is, does not hear you.
Very
From what you can tell, they don't make any interaction that they, any indication that they can hear you.
I can sneak forward and see what it is.
I don't believe it's Marcus based on the description of the approach to the room. But
If it's...
it could be that other fellow.
We said we would help.
We didn't say we would help before we found what we needed. And if it's not the other fellow, and they call out if we don't help, that could be a problem.
We could tell them where he is and let them do it.
You could see if you can catch sight on him without
Mm-hmm.
giving yourself away.
Mhm.
If it looks like the other man, then it's probably his brother.
Mhm.
All right.
No magic down the hallway, presumably.
No magic.
I'll head up to like the top corner
Mhm.
and just like hug that top corner and sneak on in and do a little elongated peek into this room.
Sure. Yeah, make a perception check for me with disadvantage in the dark.
10.
Okay. Yeah, you see a prisoner in a cage in this room. Not able to make out what they look like, but it is for sure not Marcus.
What's this room? Like, would I be able to get any closer without it seeing me? Or, like, is there anyone else in this room? Is it just this?
Sure. So as you peek in there, you can see that there are 6 cages that are kind of lined up against the wall. This figure appears to be the only one in here or in the cages.
Can I see which direction they're looking? What they're doing?
Sure. They're just leaning against the wall, looking across to the other wall. So you're looking this way, they're looking this way. Just kind of sitting slumped in the corner. Definitely not Marcus.
I'll zip back.
Mm-hmm.
It's not Marcus. I couldn't see them very clearly.
Were there any other entrances or exits into that room?
It was just the one.
Just the one.
No. There were a bunch of cages.
Then
Only
that's
one
a dead
person.
end. If we come back this way after we find Marcus, I can leave a signal. We can go check if we're not under pressure.
Sounds good.
I'm gonna leave
10.
10. Very good.
I would have stayed back here, so I'm going to leave them, like,
Sure.
passing this way into this corner.
Absolutely.
I ran out of room. support fog.
Support placement for fog. I'm not gonna lie.
When we passed this hall here, did we see it continue straight? Or
Yeah,
was it a dead
so-
end? Or
Yeah, that was just what I was about to get to.
okay.
So this is where you guys are standing right now at this corner. Dandelion's down in here having a great time.
Mm-hmm.
When you guys passed this hallway, you saw that it ascended and then made a curve to the left. And this hallway at the end went up, had a slight curve to the right, and then went about half the distance of the other hallway before curving this way.
I say we go to the top middle in there, and then check the left.
This?
Yeah.
Okay.
We've been moving slowly.
Yes.
Keep moving
We
slowly.
definitely slowed our pace after the tripwire.
Absolutely. Yeah,
He said he always went in through the castle.
correct.
Which, based on the tunnels, would have been this way from how we came in. Based on the thieves' cant in the tunnel leading this way, we hit an angle like this, and there was a fruits and vegetables something this way.
Yes.
Right?
Yep.
So if you went into the castle off in this direction and entered to come toward this, presumably the actual entrance that he came through would normally be out here somewhere.
Correct. And then he probably would have gone this way.
Right. I'm just trying to,
Absolutely.
at some point, we'll have traveled far enough in that
For sure.
my brain would then be doing the math of, he said 2 to 3 minutes.
Absolutely.
Obviously, we didn't come in the same entrance.
For sure.
But at some point, if we go too far this way,
Yeah.
there's no way.
Absolutely.
Factoring for moving
I
slowly,
would say
and it's complicated math, but
absolutely. I would say, as somebody that has done this and has gone through the sewers and snuck through things like this, the way that it was described, him entering and the placement of where this is, if you are assuming that it takes a little bit of winding in a straight hallway, you're probably looking for the center.
okay. So
Just
moving,
based on how long it's taken you to move through the hallways, you are likely searching for the
Sure.
center of whatever this is.
So theoretically, if he came in over here and we entered from a different point on a radial, we're kind of heading in the right direction potentially, give or take an arc.
Yeah, hard to say how far you've progressed in terms of.
Yeah, I'm
But-
saying directionally, we wouldn't want to move super hard this way. Would be toward the castle, I would think.
So the way that the sewer went, you would assume that this is to the left of the castle.
We also don't know
So
how
you
far.
would want to go this way as well.
We don't know how far.
I mean, we've been.
Yeah. You've been slowly snaking your way. Yeah.
like if there were curves or anything in the sewers too, it would displace where it was.
You didn't describe it as having. It was pretty
Nope.
much a straight
It's
angle.
pretty much a straight shot. Yep. Yeah.
Yeah, because it was. We went this way,
Mm-hmm.
and then hit a room and went in. The castle would be this way.
Mm-hmm.
So, positioning like this.
I would switch 2 and 3 there.
So you're saying we went this way?
Yes,
and
you
the
went that way.
would
Castle
be
would have been
that
that way. That would make
Okay.
more sense in terms
That's
of.
fine.
Yeah,
I'm just
because otherwise
trying to
we
gauge.
went going right was
So-
the wrong way.
Correct. Yeah. No,
Correct.
yeah,
so
I
we
would switch
should
those. You
be
went.
moving harder in the opposite direction, toward the way that they went,
Right.
Yes.
which we have opportunities to do, but we should be moving in that direction.
Correct.
Right.
I'd point that out as we get
Absolutely.
further up in.
Yeah. So you guys are ducking back and going up that longer hallway, correct? Up
Up and then to the
up this
left.
way?
Yeah,
then
at least to
peeking
check
the
and
left.
see.
Sure. So as you
for
guys
tripwires,
Yeah.
magic guys.
As you guys make your way towards the edge of this hallway, you see the flash of, again, your detect magic firing off that there is magic around this hallway before it fades out. And we are going to have you guys switch, and I'll have Marcus for a few moments.
All right.
You said as we're coming down this hallway or after we made the left?
as you get towards where the
To
left
where the
is.
left
Yeah,
is.
you haven't made the left yet.
Okay.
And I have your position marked with my green bush here on this thing here. And then
Yeah,
I'll,
I'm just trying to.
yeah,
keep
yeah,
ball
absolutely.
bearing
Keep a check of where you guys are.
And 947 ball bearings left. If it matters to you.
Yeah, I'm not too worried about the ball.
I didn't
bearings.
figure you would be.
Yeah.
But I am keeping track of them just in case.
Yeah.
I left another 10 because we backed up behind another turn. I left
Sure.
another 10 leading to the other 10 leading toward the dude.
Okay.
How's it going?
Hey, you're here.
I was upstairs with the cats for like the last hour.
Very good.
Pippin came down because I was sitting in the chair during the beginning when you guys were starting. Just so this way, like, I could answer if they asked anything else about my fucking inventory again. Oh my god. And then Pippin just, like, assaulted my arms for 10 minutes, screeched at me, and, like, walked over to the stairs, looked at me, and screeched.
Yep.
Like,
I apologize
Get
for the-
upstairs,
I
you-"
apologize for the headache that you'll have from
Oh,
that
dude,
tomorrow.
it's-
I'm sure.
It's fine. I'll be alright. Yeah, so, I mean, I guess I'm chilling.
Yeah. So you up on this great rack.
Nice.
You have been for the last, I guess, hard to say,
Yeah,
fading
yeah.
in and out of consciousness as
Yep.
you, from a combination of just the kind of willpower to like force yourself awake to make sure that nothing's happened
Yeah.
before your body kind of forces you to sleep
Yeah,
to
especially
recover
with
from
like not
being
eating
beaten.
and being
Yeah.
beaten and stuff now. Yeah, no.
it's been a rough few days.
Yep.
And during one of these fade outs, when you fade back in, you see this blue light coming out of your armor from the drift globe. And you, for the life of you, it looks like the branches of a tree kind of spidering
Standing
up the wall. And you fall back asleep, and you open your eyes to what feels like a breeze on your face, which doesn't make sense because you were in prison. And you have this like kind of like sandy feeling in your eyes of,
Yeah,
of
yeah,
just
just
like
dried.
just dryness, and you rub them and open them, and you find yourself sitting in the field of Goldview. And you see the tree in the distance. And you see your mother sitting under the tree with a basket.
What age would I be? Like looking
Sure.
down at myself, like recognizing that this feels as though I have been suddenly shifted into potentially a memory.
Sure.
I would just. I mean, it's also like I've gotten so accustomed over the last few days of feeling incredibly racked with pain and
Yeah.
anguish at all times that, like, this new sensation of comfort and relief would cause me to look down at
Absolutely.
myself.
Yeah, you would estimate that you are about 10 in
Okay.
whatever this is.
Yeah, so I feel definitively like a younger boy again.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, I would impulse about how far away would she be from me based on where I am in the fields? Like
Sure.
30, 60, 90?
Yeah, about 30 feet. I would say that,
Okay.
like, you're kind of sitting in one of the, like, you know, there being a dirt path from the tree that runs, like, in between the fields. You're kind of in, the, like, the right in front of where the fields are on that dirt path.
On the path.
Yeah. And with the breeze blowing, presumably that dirt kind of
Yeah,
stirred
kicked
up
into
and
my
kicked
eyes.
into your eyes, yeah.
I would impulsively tear up and begin crawling towards my mother
Mm-hmm.
and whisper out the name Minya.
Yeah. You start crawling towards her, and she stands and looks at you crying, and she drops her basket as it hits the ground, and these flowers that she had been picking from beneath the tree kind of like rustle out onto the ground. And she, almost in slow motion as she turns, runs towards you in just this very slow, kind of surreal experience with this, you know, the whole motion blur type of
Yeah.
visual as you are kind of unaware of exactly what's happening. And she runs over to you and she grabs you and lifts you to your feet. What's wrong, dear?
Fear I am dying.
Whatever do you mean, Marcus? You're fine. Are you ill?
No. I'm sorry I wasn't there.
What do you mean, baby? Whatever it is, I'm sure it can be fixed.
I would just kind of like slowly, almost shakingly place, reach up and try to like gently cup around the edges of her face. I feel her and feel her touch on me.
Yeah.
I would burst into tears and begin blubbering the idea that not all things can be fixed, Mother. Some things are gone.
There are things that are gone, dear. But remember what the Forest Mother tells us. All things give so that other things can be born.
I know.
Nothing is truly lost.
I lost you.
I'm right here.
I know. I know you and your spirit grows within me. But I fear I can't hold on to them. I fear this world wants to rip you out of me.
The world is cruel.
No, Mother. People are.
Nature can heal all wounds. It will be okay.
I know. I would then instinctively look adjacent to where I buried my parents by the tree to see if I see the mounds of their graves.
Sure. So as you peer over there, you see the mounds in front of this tree, but the tree itself is not burned. But their mounds,
The mounds
are there. And as you look and kind of like follow up the tree itself, you see the visage of a beautiful druidic looking woman sitting atop of the tree, just looking down at their graves.
Would she look familiar to me at all?
I would say that your mother would have probably told you a depiction of what Shantea might have looked like
in her actual physical visage, or what they presumed she might look like. Do I still, I'm looking up, if my mother's here, do I still see the visage of my mother, her chest and up, as I'm looking up at the tree?
You do.
Or has she, disappeared from my appearance?
So as you are looking up, you see that she begins to kind of fade.
Blur?
Yes.
Looking up at this druidic force up in the height of the tree, I would absolutely fall to my knees and pull my gaze back down to the mounds of dirt and place one hand on each of them and say, please, again, let them grow.
And you look at these mounds, your hands on them as your tears kind of drip onto
soak
these
into the
mounds.
soil.
And you see 2 legs in front of you. And you feel a hand on your chin kind of lift up. And you see Shantea standing in front of you. And she smiles kind of sadly at you. And she lowers your face back down. And where your tears drip into the soil and soak into it, you see the beginnings of a bud begin to sprout out from the soil.
No, it is, and is not them, but from them.
Yes.
And that they can still give life to this world. As I will always try to do. Thank you.
She just kind of nods at you and kind of ruffles your hair a little bit and lifts you. As she lifts you, you age back to essentially your current age. And she embraces you. And when I'm assuming close your eyes instinctively at this. And you feel her grasp leave you. And as you open your eyes, she's not standing there anymore. But as you look down at these graves, these buds are beginning to bloom.
I would look up to see the tree to see whether or not it is now burned.
So you do see that the tree is burned, but you see there are portions on the tree where buds are piercing
Blooming
through
again.
the crusted, blackened branches.
And I would look at those budding blooms and smile and whisper ever so softly. I do not think people understand the nature of my conquest.
I think we'll end it at that.
So do I, dude.
Call them back.
Very good. I appreciate my fog note.
They did find fog.
They found fog?
Yeah, fog cloud.
Is fog a man?
Yeah.
The back's on the 4-4 with all the same stuff, except it's 2 cards instead of 1.
I wish fog was a man.
They don't know.
Are we done?
Friends, thank you very, very much for watching this evening. I hope you enjoyed the episode. We will be back on Sunday at 5 p.m. Eastern Time, Tuesday at 7 p.m. Eastern Time, and next Friday at 7 p.m. Eastern Time for our respective campaigns. Thank you guys very much, and we'll see you next time.
Good night.
Good night.
Bye.